Yes, hello and welcome, FPL managers. Welcome to Ghana Football Fantasy. And sorry for being very late again. Once again, apologies. Very sorry. Ramadan is kind of having a lot of impact on us privately and also professionally. And I think it's becoming a little bit of difficulty for us to actually maintain the time. So we apologize for that. Uh, as you can see, because of the timing spheres and all the delays, is because we are not being able to get everybody in the same rhythm because of Tarabi and Iftar and tiredness and family issues and children and everything you want to talk about. Yeah, and FPL is just a very small part of it, but still we are here and we are back. And thank you so much for joining. And of course, with me joins Parvez. Parvez, welcome.
Yeah, thank you, Nadeep. Thank you.
Right. So we are expecting what you want to call it, Saif and Ashfaq to join as soon as possible, but I'm not sure when they are going to join. But anyway, glad to see. And of course, I've got a very good news here. So I'll just bring this comment up because I really liked it. Assalamu alaikum, brothers. How is it going? Walaikum assalam, brother. It's all going good so far. A little bit with the time issues, but beside that, all going. I'm blessed with a baby girl. Congratulations, brother. Congratulations. Well done. Welcome to fatherhood. Now you'll understand how difficult it is to actually maintain life, professional life and personal life. And on top of that, you play FPL. And if you are to make a content and then do a regular show on that, you will understand the difficulty that we go through every week. Yeah. So welcome, Tanvita now. Welcome, brother, and welcome to fatherhood, of course, and all the very best. Best wishes and duas. Lots of blessings for the beautiful girl that you have. And yeah, we hope she grows up to be one of the smartest girls playing FPL in Bangladesh, and probably she might be the one who might win it. So yeah, encourage your child to play FPL. And yeah, you don't know. I mean, casual players do much better than serious players. So you might have one day, Tanvir, that your daughter might be outscoring you every week, despite she only spending 5 minutes of time on FPL, whereas you are kind of spending hours and hours listening to all the rubbish that we have to say. But yeah, welcome, welcome. Right. So I just wanted to bring that message because of the
এটা কি
uh,
তানভীর ধারার দ্বিতীয় কন্যা সন্তান আর কি। তো
Ajay Hook. I don't know. I don't know if it is the second child or the third child, but whatever it is, if it's good to have a child who is who is
তাও নাদিম।
so that's why I just wanted to bring that thing back again. But yeah, let's start, Parvez. Others will join later as and when they can, and let's start. So what we're going to do today is we are going to discuss the Game Week 31 Footalochona, the APL Gono show. And of course, if you haven't followed, liked, subscribed, or given us a review, please do so. And of course, encourage your friends and welcome them because we are trying hard. So you can do one favor by inviting your friends who plays FPL and tell them to watch the show. And that's all we ask you to do because that helps us to grow. So yeah, and we'll continue to do it as we are. So don't worry about changing the format and stuff like that. We are not going to change the format very soon. So please do so. And the mandatory statement that I need to make every week is that on Football Fantasy is part of the APL Scout Fantasy Football Scout Network, and is the only page from Bangladesh to be part of the Scout Network. So all the data that we use are from the members area, and if you're interested in buying the members area or get access to the members area, click on the link on our fantasy page or on our Facebook page, and there you will get, if you click and register and sign up, you would get a discount price and you'll be able to access all the data that you have things. So yeah, good luck with that. So yeah, so let's proceed, Parvez. Let's start with the fixture crush. So I'll come to you on that, Parvez. Over to you. Let's discuss some of the hot topics and then we can go into the question answer straight away after that. Yeah, over to you, Parvez.
ওকে নাদিম, থ্যাংক ইউ। সো ফিকচার ক্র্যাশ নিয়ে আমি যদি প্রথমেই কথা বলি তাহলে এই মুহূর্তে মোস্ট ডিমান্ডিং টিম যেগুলা তাদের ফিকচার যথেষ্ট ভালো, বাট খুবই কনজাস্টেড, মানে খুব কাছাকাছি তাদের ফিকচার গুলো আছে। যেমন আমি যদি ধরি যে ম্যানচেস্টার সিটি গতকাল রাত্রি হলো বায়ার্ন মিউনিখের সাথে খেললো। দেন 15 তারিখ হলো শনিবার তাদের নেক্সট ম্যাচ লিস্টার, 3 দিনের গ্যাপে তারা খেলবে। সো এই জিনিসটা মাথায় রাখতে হবে যে আসলে লিস্টারের প্লেয়াররা, লিস্টারের সাথে ম্যান সিটির কোন কোন প্লেয়াররা আসলে মাঠের মধ্যে নামবে, কারণ কালকে হ্যালান্ড, গ্রিলিশ তারা অলমোস্ট অলমোস্ট না, তারা ফুল 90 মিনিটই ম্যাচ খেলছে। সো পপুলার ট্রান্সফার যেগুলা ছিল সেগুলা মোটামুটি 90 মিনিট খেলছে। সো এটা একটু মিনিট কাটিং হওয়ার পসিবিলিটি অনেক বেশি। এবং তারপরে 3 দিন পরে আবার বায়ার্নের মাঠে খেলা, যদি 3 গোলের অ্যাডভান্টেজ আছে সিটির, সেটা একটা বড় অ্যাডভান্টেজ। সেখানে প্লেয়াররা অনেকটা রিল্যাক্স ফুটে খেলতে পারবে। এবং তার ঠিক 2 দিন পরে হলো এফএ কাপের সেমিফাইনাল শেফিল্ড ইউনাইটেডের সাথে। এবং তার 3 দিন পরে হলো আর্সেনালের সাথে হলো তাদের রাইভালরি ম্যাচ, যে এই সিজনে আসলে এই ম্যাচটার উপর ডিপেন্ড করতেছে অনেক কিছু, যে এই ম্যাচটাতে হারা জিতার উপরে টাইটেল রেসটা নির্ভর করতেছে। সো ম্যান সিটির প্লেয়াররা স্বাভাবিকভাবেই এই মুহূর্তে প্রত্যেকটা ম্যাচই তাদের জন্য ইম্পর্টেন্ট। শুধু লেস ইম্পর্টেন্ট যদি কোনো ম্যাচ থাকে সেটা হলো লিস্টার, কারণ লিস্টার অফ ফর্মে আছে এবং তার সাথে আসলে কোন স্কোয়াডটা নামাবে এটাই হলো একটা টেনশনের ব্যাপার। চেলসির ক্ষেত্রেও সেটা, গতকাল তারা মাদ্রিদের সাথে খেলছে, মাদ্রিদের সাথে খেলার পরে তার 2 দিন ব্রেকে ব্রাইটনের সাথে খেলবেন, তারপরে আবার 2 দিন ব্রেকের পরে আবার মঙ্গলবারে হলো মাদ্রিদের মাঠে যায় খেলবে। সো না, মাদ্রিদ আসবে চেলসিতে। সো তাদের মধ্যেও এই 31 গেম উইকে যে ব্রাইটনের ম্যাচটা, এখানে একটা চান্স আছে যেখানে হলো প্লেয়ারদের রোটেশন হওয়ার চান্স আছে। তারপরে ম্যানচেস্টার ইউনাইটেডের কথা বলি, আজকে ম্যানচেস্টার ইউনাইটেডের খেলা, এবং তার 2 দিন পরে হলো ফরেস্টের সাথে খেলা। তার 3 দিন পরে সেভিয়ার সাথে আবার তাদের অ্যাওয়ে ম্যাচ হবে, যেখানে সেভিয়া তাদের স্পেন ট্রিপ করতে হবে। এন্ড দেন তারপরে আবার ব্রাইটনের সাথে হলো ব্লাঙ্গামিক থাকলো, সেখানে ব্রাইটনের সাথে তাদের এফএ কাপের সেমিফাইনাল ম্যাচ আছে। সো তাদের প্লেয়াররাও মোটামুটি একটা টাইট শিডিউলের মধ্যে দিয়ে যাচ্ছে। তো স্বাভাবিকভাবেই আহ, এই টিমগুলোর দিকে, যেমন সিটি, চেলসি, ইউনাইটেড, ইভেন ওয়েস্ট হ্যামের অ্যাসেট যদি কারো থাকে, ওয়েস্ট হ্যামকে আমি তেমন একটা মার্ক করব না ওইভাবে, যে ওয়েস্ট হ্যামের আসলে রোটেশনের ভয়টা। সিটি, চেলসি এবং ইউনাইটেড এদের অ্যাসেট যাদের থাকবে অবভিয়াসলি তাদেরকে মাথার মধ্যে রাখতে হবে তাদের মিনিট কাট হইতে পারে। আদারওয়াইজ এই গেম উইকটার পরে যে 32 গেম উইকটা আসতেছে, 32 এবং 33, 33টা কিন্তু হলো মিড উইক, অর্থাৎ মঙ্গলবার রাত থেকে শুরু হবে। তো এখানেও আবার একটা ব্যাপার আছে যে 32-এর সাথে সাথে কিন্তু 31 লাগালাগি আর কি, 32-33 এই গেম উইকটা একই সপ্তাহের মধ্যে 2টা গেম উইক হবে। সো আসলে এই সময় যে কোনো প্লেয়ারের রোটেশন হইতে পারে, এটাই মাথায় রাখতে হবে যে যে কোনো প্লেয়ারের রোটেশন হইতে হবে, বেঞ্চকে ভালো মতন স্ট্রং রাখতে হবে, এটাই আমার সাজেশন থাকবে। সো নাদিম, ওভার টু ইউ।
Thanks, Parvez. Welcome, Ashfaq. Good to see you, brother.
Sorry for being late.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. Totally understandable. And I had to apologize to the audience, saying how difficult it is actually becoming for all of us to actually, maintain a professional and personal life, but at the same time with the Ramadan and Taraweeh and extra additional layers of, religious obligations that we have to fulfill, it can be a bit tiring and daunting for us. So yeah, no worries. So we discussed the fixture crash already. I will discuss some of the key battles that is going to come, and I think the key battles is something that we will keep on moving forward for the next few game weeks, because this is what determines as to how we look at FPL moving forward. And some of the fixtures that you see here that are marked white, these are the key battles that we see. And now, if you ask me what is this key battles, is basically teams that are competing for the top 4 or the top 5 or the top 6, teams that are competing for the relegations. Now we know the championship is heating up. Now we also know that the relegation is heating up. And if you clearly look at if you look at the points table, what you would see is probably from 12 onwards, from Crystal Palace onwards down till Southampton, there is only a difference of 10 points. Yeah. So any of these 10 teams or 8 teams can actually go down. Now, if you look up from team number 8 to upward, 1 to 8, any of these teams can move up to 6th, 5th, 4th, and 3rd. Yeah. And I think that is something that we need to keep in mind, because these teams are going to take this into consideration, look at their chances, look at their opportunities, and that's how they are going to define their strategy of playing. So we mark this, the first one. Now, the Aston Villa and Newcastle, why we think is a key battle is because Aston Villa is unbeaten. I think over the last 13 matches, they were at, I think, 1 point above safe zone when Gerrard got fired, and then Unai Emery came in, and then, things completely changed for Aston Villa. They're on a hot streak form, and they want to continue that because they still have the opportunity to either be part of the Conference League or the Europa League, and that's where things get interesting. Now, Newcastle have beaten Manchester United, and they have secured the third position in terms of the goal difference. So Newcastle doesn't want to drop points because any drop points would mean Manchester United taking advantage again. So that's another battle. So that's how this game is going to be played. And keeping that in mind, of course, you can see the predictions of Parvez and myself. I think it is going to be 1-1, whereas Parvez thinks it is going to be 2-1. Next battle that we are going to talk about is Southampton versus Crystal Palace. Both are fighting for relegations. Crystal Palace is on 12th. Southampton is on the last. Both are playing at home. Crystal Palace seems to be finding a bit of a mojo under Roy Hodgson again, and Southampton still struggling. So this is going to be a key battle in terms of saving or getting any sort of points that they would like to get. Here, Parvez predicts 1-1, and I predict a Crystal Palace win. I think Southampton is definitely going down along with Leicester. That's that. The third battle that we are looking at is Tottenham versus Bournemouth. Now, Bournemouth has been one of the teams that has been really, really impressive recently in terms of, every time we underestimated them, like, they'll get slaughtered by the big teams. It didn't happen. What really happened is they ended up beating those big teams by 1-0. Yeah. Liverpool, for example, and I think there was also there was another big team that they beat 1-0, or Leicester, I think they beat another, 1-0. This is where we were expecting teams to actually capitalize against Bournemouth, but Bournemouth didn't allow. So it goes to show that Bournemouth is defensively solid, and they're trying to get every point possible from every bloody game that they are playing. And I think going to Tottenham, of course, their away record, Bournemouth's away record is pretty bad. But going to Tottenham, I think they'll give it a fight. So Tottenham is not going to find it easy. But again, I'm not saying that Tottenham is not going to score goals at all. Yeah. But this game is not going to be easy that we think like, this is where Son and Kane is going to, slaughter Bournemouth, and they're going to score hat-tricks after hat-tricks, and we should all get in Kane and Son and, others. That's not what the equation looks like in this game. Parvez predicts 2-1 for Tottenham. I predict 2-0 for Bournemouth. I think Parvez will slightly get the correct one here because I somehow feel Bournemouth will nick one and make the game a bit nervy. Coming back to the last two, which is West Ham versus Arsenal. West Ham is fighting relegation. Moyes under pressure, doesn't really want to go. Arsenal finds themselves under pressure after losing the point against Liverpool by being leading 2-0, then conceding 2 goals only to be nervous. It all comes down to Arsenal versus Manchester City. So any slip against West Ham means it is Arsenal's championship to lose after a brilliant season. Yeah. What I would suggest is this is where Arsenal will be cautious. They will really go out to get a win, whereas West Ham is going to try and keep that mind that they are going to fight relegation. So even a 1 point against a big team would be immense for their relegation fight. Yeah. So that's something to keep in mind. Parvez predicts as 3-1. I predict as 2-1. I think it's going to be a pretty close call because West Ham are pretty good when it comes to their home form in terms of the defensive record at home. The last one we think is Manchester United versus Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest is solid at home, really good. They tend to score at home. They are really bad when they're playing away, whereas Manchester United want to take this match as very seriously. Doesn't want to really be complacent about it by the fact that Newcastle could lose some points here, so they have the advantage of winning the game. So this might just come down to 1-0 for one, or 1-1, or maybe 2-1. But I think Manchester United will somehow nick it and get the necessary points because that's how they have been doing for the last couple of games by just winning by a very small margin and trying to be very critical and tactical rather than trying to be being flamboyant and scoring too many goals. So yeah, I think those are the key battles that we have because any slip from Manchester United means advantage for Tottenham, advantage for Newcastle. Any slip for Nottingham Forest means they are further down the line for the relegation battles. But any points gained from this match would mean immense for their survival. With the amount of investment that Nottingham Forest has made, they would like to stay in the Premier League. And that's something that you need to keep in mind. So these battles are not looking as rosy and wonderful as it sounds. And I think this is something that we will be discussing. And this has a lot of impact on how we decide to play FPL. You might find this, era football niye hude ajaira pachal partese, thik ache? But no, FPL is football, yeah? So you need to take that into consideration and get that into consideration and then evaluate the matches and pick accordingly. Yeah, that's what we wanted to say. So that's the key battles from my side. Thanks, Parvez. Let's go to the Rashford replacement. I'll come to you, Ashfaq, with that. For the Rashford replacement, we have a slide ready for that. So over to you, Ashfaq.
Right. So the news on Rashford is that early news is that Rashford is out for a few games. So we are expecting at least 2 games which he'll be out for. So because it's almost at the end of the season, I think for most managers he's more or less an easy sell. Now the option is that who to replace Rashford on. Now the first choice will obviously be you can see for the statistics one of the first choice would be Martinelli if you don't own Martinelli already. Martinelli still has a very high ownership with 39%. So if you don't own Martinelli and with his current form, you can see he's one of the highest XGs out there. With Jesus playing, we see that Martinelli and Jesus are someone who really plays off each other, and probably Martinez's best form coincides when Jesus actually plays in the team because they're always interchanging positions. So on that topic, like I mentioned in the last pod, that Jesus can be a great differential option too if you're looking for a differential third striker. So coming back to Martinelli, his non-penalty XG is still the highest. He's highly owned. He's on form. Uh, the early scares on his minutes might be managed for Trossard coming in, etc., is mitigated somewhat because with his form, he's virtually undroppable. So Martinelli would be the first pick here. The next pick would be Grealish because with Grealish's current, FPL point score, FPL form, I think he's one of the good picks out there. The only thing is that he's missing game week 32, but if you're on a free hit, you're playing your free hit in game week 32. I think Grealish is an easy buy for most managers. Early season, he had some rotational issues with Foden, but with Foden injured, I think places Grealish to hold, and with his current form, I don't think he won't will be dropped in the short or medium term. Um, if you have watched the last match, I think you've seen that Grealish, most of the attacks went through Grealish, and he looked very solid attacking wise. So, his expected uh, assist is really high. It's up there with Kevin De Bruyne at least. So, Grealish is an easy buy, provided, of course, you are free hitting in Game Week 32. The other options we have Conor Gakpo. We are considering Conor Gakpo because game of 31 onwards, Liverpool has a great run of fixtures, right? So with their great run of fixtures, with Conor Gakpo's playing the central striker position, I think he's still preferred in that position over Nunez at the moment. So I think he can be a great differential option. You can see that he's only 3.4% owned, and if he gets a good score and you own Gakpo, chances are you'll go really high up the rank. Other options, Pavel mentioned Pereira a bit before. So with Mitrovic suspended for the long run, I think Pereira can be a shrewd option as well. But he should be considered as your fifth mid. I don't think he's good enough to be your fourth mid at the moment. But the advantage of Pereira is that with Mitrovic missing, he's likely to take penalties, so he can be a good asset to have as your fifth mid as well. Finally, Michael Ollis. What I've seen that with Crystal Palace, Hodgson has again come in and made some changes with the formation, and they look a different team altogether. And Michael Ollis is on the central for most team. He's always been a good FPL assets to own, but because there's so many options up front for Crystal Palace, he was always a rotational issue. But if Michael Ollis holds his place as starting every other game, I think he can be another great differential option to hold. The thing with the message to all the managers here is that the season is almost at an end. Don't be afraid to take risk at the moment. Don't plan for the long term. Don't plan for 6 or 7 weeks because that does not exist anymore. You should be more aggressive. Do not be afraid to take risks. Do not be afraid to punt on differentials, invest on differentials. You can do the you can make plans for the short term for 1 game week, 2 weeks, take a few minor hits. No, right now what we advise is to be on the aggressive in your field strategy. So that's it for me.
Thanks, Ashfaq. Thanks. Um, yeah, I think that's the mean Rashford replacement is one of the most key point discussion this week. But there is also another key point discussion that is team in focus, which is actually Liverpool. Now, one might say, why are we talking about Liverpool? Now, this is why I wouldn't to just wanted to say as to why we want to talk about Liverpool here. Let me just bring up the slide here for Liverpool. I think the key matter here is that Liverpool has recently changed its formation. Yeah. And if you haven't really noticed as to what formation change is that Liverpool is now playing three at the back, two in between, and five up front. So that is 3-2-5 formation that they are playing, which looks a bit weird. But the thing is, what they have done is they have actually, if you look at football field from a point of view, you'd see that defensive team is half and then half is attacking. Yeah. And one of the key tactical changes that has come in this 3-2-5 formation is the position of Trent Alexander-Arnold. He is not playing as a wing back anymore, or he's not playing as a left back or a right back anymore. He's playing more of a defensive midfielder role, moving or a box-to-box midfielder role, something that Casemiro plays, or Moise Caicedo, or people like that they play. And I think that is a key tactical point because that allows Liverpool to spread up a little bit and allows Trent Alexander-Arnold to move forward a little bit more and gives him the direct access of what you might call it is direct passes to Mo Salah. Yeah. And because of that, Mo Salah has been, if you have looked at the last match against Arsenal, you would see that Mo Salah had 9 shots in the box. And I think he had plenty of penalty touches, something that he has not done the entire season. That one match is the best stats that he had, and against the best team in the Premier League so far this season. Yeah. So if Mo Salah is certainly finding the maximum number of shots against the best team, finding the maximum number of touches inside the box against the best team, scoring 1 goal, missing 1 penalty, but then having 9 shots, I think it speaks a lot. And I think something that we need to take into consideration, something that even Jurgen Klopp also kind of discussed it quite widely in the post press conference, and that is why we are trying. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to focus on Liverpool. And if you look at their attacking stats, the last 6 matches, they are kind of 5th in terms of the goals. The expected goals are actually 11. So basically, they are expected to score. Liverpool is expected to score every 6 match about 1.5 or 2 goals per match. That's what they expect. Chances created is 40, and big chances they have created is 18, where they come out first. Yeah. And I think that's where the big chances created is where we need to really look at, because this is where, probably it's Darwin Núñez who has missed the most of it. But now that they understand that Darwin Núñez is missing so many, these big chances are actually being supplied through this change of formation to actually Mo Salah. So I think that is where Mo Salah becomes a very, very important player moving forward. Now, defensive stats, I wouldn't say that much about it, but except one thing that I wanted to really say is their home stats and their away stats is as different as day and night. Home is day and night is away. Yeah. And it's that bad. Yeah. So let's not really, but if you are really thinking of, bringing somebody from the Liverpool side, I would suggest reconsidering the FPL asset that is called Trent Alexander-Arnold. And I think he's going to become quite a vital player over the next few weeks in terms of the assist that we are expecting, in terms of the change of formation, because that allows him to play a bit more from the outside the box. Yeah, so he's going to be not on the side of the box, but he's going to be pretty much outside of the D box, waiting for chances, trying to cross, trying to shoot every opportunity, and might sometimes slip into the half spaces to actually attack. So yeah, that's something I wanted to bring it out. And if you look at this stats, if you look at this particular table, you can clearly see, Salah kind of outstanding in terms of goals, assists, and XG and non-penalty XG, which is kind of 3.04. Then the XGI is 5.90. The penalty area touches is very important, which is 44. Yeah. No one has actually crossed more than 30 except Darwin Núñez. And Darwin Núñez is supposed to be their striker. But the shift in formation has allowed Salah 3 touches in the last match that he was actually, I think I looked into the stats, and what I saw was Darwin Núñez and Salah were having the similar sort of touches. I think somewhere around 28 touches or 29 touches. And I think Darwin Núñez was slightly winning it. Yeah, but that last match, look at the number of touches that has Mo Salah has got, and then look at the comparison. So basically, in one match, Mo Salah has outscored or outtouched Darwin Núñez by a significant number, and that is what I'm trying to tell you here through all the talks that I'm trying to give you here. Yeah, and I think the big chances are going to fall again, and this is where I kind of already mentioned even before looking at the stats that Trent Alexander-Arnold and what you might call it Mo Salah will become the key players in terms of moving forward in terms of what you might call it. The assets that we are going to consider, if you look at the big chances, both of them have actually created three chances each in the last 6 matches. And I think that is very important. I wanted Saif to discuss this, but unfortunately, Saif is a bit late. So Saif just joins us now. Saif, any takeaway from this one in terms of Liverpool's assets going forward and in terms of the change in formation, which is 3-5?
I think, sorry for the delay. I'm having some problem with my laptops joined with my mobile now. But thing is, I think we should wait regarding the Liverpool assets because we have been blowing hot and cold. We 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 won 7-0 at Old Trafford against Manchester United, then went on to lose and did not score against Bournemouth. So I would not be surprised if we lose 2-0 or 3-0 against Leeds. So I think Salah is the only safe option, and we should wait 1 or 2 game week more to see whether the new formation is a thing to stay. So I think we can at least keep the next game week a wait and see. And if we want to bring someone in, then Salah is the one. Then if this formation stays, then we can bring Trent in for the next game 32. And if you are on free hit anyway, so you can easily bring in 3 Liverpool players for game 32. So I would not rush to bring in Liverpool assets as of now. I think the fixtures will stay good till the end of the season. So I think we can wait 1 or 2 game week more to see if the form has really turned or if the formation is really there to stay.
Okay, that's somebody who's giving us cautious messages. Basically, he's going to go all full blown Liverpool, and he's not going to let you take him on. Anyway, no, just kidding. Sorry.
Exactly. So basically, he's going to invest in Trent, and he's asking us not to invest.
Yeah.
Wait 3 or 4 game weeks because I'm going to invest now. I'm going to get the points for 3 or 4 game weeks. Then
then you can join.
Then you can join the party and take Trent when he's giving some points for 3 or 4 weeks.
Such strategies are not going to work. At least in a live pod like this. We are here to be critical.
No, because I've been playing against him for a long time, right? I've been playing against him for around 4 or 5 seasons now, so I kind of know what his strategy is or his thought process is at this time. One thing I wanted to ask is that so Salah is in a small penalty miss trend right now. So in the short run, do you believe that Salah will be the first choice penalty taker for Liverpool? Because we have other options for penalty takers. Like we know that Fabinho is a good penalty taker as well. There's Henderson. And we have seen that whenever James Milner comes in, if Trent does come in at the defensive mid position, there could be a good chance that Milner comes to the right back position. So
Milner won't come back to the right back position. I think he is too old for that. Joe Gomez has really played well, but anyway, Trent won't be starting from. It will be like an inverted back three, like the Man Cities when Rico Lewis came into the midfield. I think Klopp has taken some lessons from that. So Trent will start from the midfield, right back, and then move on to the midfield when we are attacking. But when we are on the defensive end, I think Trent will go back to the right back position. And anyway, if Trent starts from the midfield from the onset, I think Joe Gomez will come in because he has played 1 game when Trent was benched, and he played really well. So I think he will be getting the right back position if Trent starts from the midfield. So I think Salah will get the next penalty because I think he will get another chance at least, and then if he misses that one too, I think it will be over for him regarding penalty duties. And anyway, Fabinho is not fully rotation proof anyway, so I think Salah is the one who will stay on the pitch most of the time, and I think he will at least get the next penalty. So let's see. And anyway, Liverpool doesn't really get too many penalties. They only got 2, and Salah missed both. So I would not be worried about penalties as of now regarding Salah.
I wouldn't disagree with you anymore, Saif, in this case. To be honest, I think Salah still stays in penalty. Of course, he missed 4 out of the last 9 penalties that he has taken. So I think the number still weighs on. And sometimes it happens that you are on a streak of being a bit too nervous, and the previous thing kind of plays a bit in your mind. But again, I think the new formation is putting Liverpool back on the map, and I think this from moving from 4-3-3 to 3-5 is really a very good, because looking at it from a football point of view, looking at it from a very purely football point of view, you have half the pitch for defenders, 5 players defending, and you have 5 players attacking. And out of that 5 players who are attacking, you would expect 3 to fall down and support the 5 who are there. So you're, in terms of number, you're always outscoring. Yeah. And I think that transition of having more numbers on the defensive side, but again, when you're going on the attack, having more numbers on the attacking side kind of allows you to play the football, something that Roberto De Zerbi does it very well. Yeah, if you have looked at Brighton, they attack with full numbers and they come back with full numbers. Yeah, and I think this has been the ploy, something that Guardiola has mastered it, of course, but others are also doing it. And I think that exploitation of numbers against the defense and against the opponents is something that is very key, and that allows Trent to actually move from box to box and provide direct supplies to.
And another interesting thing here is that Trent actually is not a natural right back. He was a midfielder in the youth team, and he was actually seen as a natural heir to Steven Gerrard's position. But he was then converted to the right back because we had a crisis there, and then he did really well. He stayed there, but I think he doesn't need to be taught the midfield role, so that's a plus. So I think he might move on to the midfield permanently in the future. But for now, I think it will be like when on attack, you will go for the midfield, and then when in defense, you will come back and defend.
Yeah, and I totally agree, because if you look at Trent, even before the shift of formation, 2 things why we picked. Okay, just forget everything. Just ask yourself one question: why did we consider Trent Alexander-Arnold as a very good FPL asset? 1, for his accuracy of passes. 2, because of his attacking capacity. 3, because of his powerful shots outside the box. 4, because he often goes around providing those critical through balls and giving accurate passes. Now, those are the 4 assets that we really took into consideration when he was a defender or a right back. Yeah. Now, those are the same assets or the same skills that you actually need as a box-to-box midfielder. And that is exactly what Klopp is trying to utilize. And this is where I think over the next couple of game weeks, Trent is going to become the hot asset. Yeah. Of course, Salah will become from next week, of course. But I think Trent will become the next hot asset over the next couple of weeks, moving on from game week 34 or maybe 33. I don't know. I don't know which timeline, but he will become a big asset. Yeah. If Liverpool stays with 3-5. Yeah. But I think we have discussed this quite a lot, but we're not going to go into more details about it. So let's go to the last topic, and I think which is captains, and I will pass it on to our dear friend Saif. Saif, over to you for the captaincy.
This game week is really interesting regarding captaincy, because I think all the top teams have relatively easier looking fixtures. But I can't look past the Man City fixture because Leicester has been so bad. They employed a new manager, but I don't think the new manager bounce will work straight away. We don't know. And anyway, the new manager is not one highly regarded. Most of the Premier League fans and the Leicester fans are expecting them to go down now, because Dean Smith is not someone who can be a messiah. But anyway, Dean Smith has done the rescue job previously with Villa. When Villa was languishing at the bottom, then he took the job, and then by the last game week, I think they went to safety. So I think something like that might happen. But anyway, I can't really look past the Man City defense, Man City attack. So Man City attack, because Leicester has been horrendous defensively. So Haaland is one. Haaland, I think, and also the fact that Man City has won the UCL so comfortably. So Haaland, I don't think he will be rotated. he'll at least get 60 minutes, and he can easily score a hat trick in 60 minutes. So just look at Leicester's attacking for defensive stats. So overall, they are really bad, but in none of the stats exactly stand. um, they're really not bad in any particular position, but I think overall they are really bad. And over the last 6 matches, they have conceded 9.6 expected goals. That's almost 1.5 expected goals per match, which is only bettered by Leeds United. But I think Leeds under Javi Gracia has shown some defensive resolve. Palace away was an anomaly. They were very good in the first half. In the second half, they kind of like fell away. So anyway, I think Leicester at home is the best fixture, and then Leeds is the second best, and then Bournemouth is also there. Bournemouth have been doing well, relatively well lately, and they have now. I think they have stayed clear of the relegation. So, but anyway, their defensive numbers are still pretty bad. So all of Haaland, Salah, and Kane are worth consideration, but we know when Haaland has even a bad fixture. I think Haaland is the standout captaincy choice, but he now has a really prime fixture. I think we can't really risk going without Haaland. And Saka, I think, is the distant fourth option, but my preference should be Haaland and then Kane and then Salah. Only because Liverpool is playing away. If Liverpool are playing at home, I think Salah would outscore Kane. But our IF form has been really bad. We can't really trust Liverpool as yet, but I think Haaland should be the number one pick. We should not really risk it at this point of the season.
Thanks, Saif. Thanks. Okay. I see about 15 people or 16 people watching. It's now slightly gone down again to 14 people, but I see only 7 likes. Now, those of you who don't know, last week we had 22 likes, for which in return of every like, I multiplied it by 10 taka. And what we did was 220 taka was actually given to poor people as a sort of like a donation during the month of Ramadan, or as a sort of a charity. So every like that you put is multiplied by 10 taka, which I will be then contributing. So last week we contributed 220 taka because we got 22 likes, and which was then given to the mosque and to a madrasa. Similarly, we see 8 likes or love right now. So yeah, I'll probably have to give just 80 taka this week. But this being the month of Ramadan, so you can be a bit more generous with your likes and comments, because in return of that, somebody is going to get 10 taka or worthy of food or something. I don't know how that money is going to be spent, but your like contributes to that money, and that money will again go to the poor people. So yeah, appreciate your likes and comments, and appreciate all your feedbacks. So please do share. Yeah, don't be miser. Yeah, don't be miser when it comes to pressing that button. It doesn't cost you much. It rather costs me actually if you press the button, but I'm happy to do that, and I think we all get the benefits of it. So yeah, please do. Any other topics that we wanted to discuss, or anything that is left, Parvez?
I think আমরা সবগুলাই কমপ্লিট করছি গেমিংয়ের মোটামুটি যেগুলা ভাইটাল কোশ্চেন ছিল, যেমন পিকচারের মধ্যে কিরকম ট্রানজাকশন, মানে প্লেয়ারদেরকে ট্রানজাকশন করে রাশফোর্ডের জিনিসটা সবচেয়ে বেশি ইম্পর্টেন্ট ছিল, যে রাশফোর্ডের ট্রান্সফারটা কে হবে। আবার তারপরে সামনের দিকে আসতেছে 32 এবং 34-এর মধ্যে কোনটাতে ফ্রি হিট কে খেলবে, কার স্ট্র্যাটেজি কেমন ছিল। এই মুহূর্তে রাশফোর্ডকে বাদ দিলে 32-এ রাশফোর্ড ব্ল্যাঙ্ক, ওখানে যদি কেউ ফ্রি হিট খেলে তাহলে তো রাশফোর্ডকে আবার নেওয়া যাচ্ছে। সো এরকম বিভিন্ন রকম জিনিসগুলা আসলে আমরা মোটামুটি আমাদের কথার মধ্যে তুলে ধরছি। তো আমার মনে হয় যে আমরা এখন সরাসরি যদি প্রশ্নে চলে যাই, তাহলে আরো জিনিসগুলা স্পেসিফিকলি অ্যানসার করা শুরু হবে এবং সেই জিনিসগুলো আরো ডিটেইলস গুলো বুঝতে পারবে।
Yeah, we'll go to the question, but there is, I think, one section I just quickly want to highlight, the zonal weakness. I will do that. Yeah, so the zonal weakness I will quickly share. Yeah, and then we can go into that. So again, this is the zonal weakness, and of course, if you have not been following us quite quickly, then you would probably not know. But this is something that is quite popular on Twitter, and something that is quite well appreciated by the FPL community. And I think this is something that I've been using to play FPL this season, entirely based on zonal weakness. I've done quite well. I can tell you my success really lies on the zonal weakness. So every time I didn't get the zonal, or I didn't have the data, I really did get a red arrow. Yeah. Anyway, let's look at the first match, which is Leicester versus Manchester City, and I think Grealish is the option there because Leicester has conceded 28 chances down the right side, and you can see that they are ranked third. So when I say ranked third, means that is actually in terms of being worst, yeah, not best. Yeah. So best is 20, and the third worst is 1. Yeah. So if you keep it that way, then you'll understand. So in terms of Leicester being weak from the right side, they are coming out third. So the worst is some other team, and then the second is that. Again, Haaland is again fifth over there. So again, as I mentioned, I think no need to take risk when it comes to the captaincy option this game week. So you should just go with Haaland because their Leicester has considered 20 chances down the center and are ranked fifth. So that's another important. I think the key battle this game week is actually between Tottenham and Bournemouth, where we see Son and Perisic being absolutely vital. Son and Perisic last week contributed a lot, and Son has scored his 100th Premier League goal. So again, if you look at from the right flank side, where Bournemouth has considered 28 chances and are ranked the worst. So basically, from the right side, if all the teams, if you look at it, Bournemouth is the worst when it comes to the right side. Yeah. Then it's Kane, where they have actually considered center 20 chances and are ranked fourth. And then you have Pedro Porro or Kulusevski. I don't think so Kulusevski is an option, but Pedro Porro is a very good option in terms of providing an assist and also keeping a clean sheet. And there you can see from the left-hand side, Bournemouth has actually considered 24 chances and are ranked second. So yeah, again, headed chances is where Kane might capitalize because he's very good at it. So that's that. Yeah, we don't want to really get into it, but Bruno Fernandes has been one of the players who's been questioned a lot over the last couple of weeks, whether he's going to deliver, whether he's going to play deep and bloody blah and all that questions. But I think this is the game week where Bruno Fernandes is probably going to deliver, to be honest, because that's where Nottingham Forest is actually considered 27 chances down the left flank. And basically they are ranked the worst side when it comes to this side. So I expect Bruno Fernandes to be amongst the goals or among the assists, because in terms of the crosses when it comes in the left flank, you can see that Bruno Fernandes is there, and Nottingham Forest have actually considered 80 crosses from that side and are ranked second. Newcastle is likely to do well again. Murphy, but again, I'm not going to really go and ask you to go and transfer Murphy in, but Trippier plays from that wing, so you can expect Trippier. So do play him in your main 11. Joelinton seems to be the one player who seems to be finding a little bit of form over the last 2 game weeks, have scored really 2 wonderful goals. And there you can see that from the right flank, they have conceded 59 chances, Aston Villa. But this game being quite tight, so I do not expect much to go. I'm not going to suggest you to go and transfer in Joelinton. But yeah, you never know if you're in the mood for transfers and risks. So if you are really taking a risk, and if you're really going for the replacement of Rashford, I would suggest you go with Grealish. And yeah, that would be my option, but also with Martinelli, who's been on sensational form. So yeah, that's all for the Zonal for this week for now. And we can really get into the questions now, really. Yeah. Anything else to add, guys, in that? Or should we straight away go to the questions? No, nothing much.
Liverpool?
No, nothing on Liverpool this week. No. I mean, it becomes extremely difficult to put all the teams, and we have to really be very selective about whom we pick. Yeah. Like again, Liverpool might not be looking very good this week, but again, Salah is done, and I think the tactical formation we have already discussed. So zonal.
I have an observation regarding the zonal, because I think the zonal should be sorted according to the worst defense to the best. At least we should focus on the worst top 10 worst defenses.
Yeah.
So if that is sorted that way, I think everyone can see. And some punts will be coming out, because we have seen the second or third worst team, but I don't think we have seen the first or the worst team with regards to left flank or right flank. So if the sorting were like that, that's the worst team on top, and then the second worst, third worst. I think some punts will be coming out.
So we have the worst, right? So we
have the worst actually. We have the worst, yeah.
Second worst is not there. So worst through the center is not there. So we can't really say who is the worst from this graphic through the center, right? Even
that's a very valid point. That's a very valid point. Yeah.
top Orst 3 is not there. See, we can see the fourth and fifth Orst while talking about the center, chances considered through the center. So I think if the sorting is done there, and even if that does not really concern the top midfield choices, I think that will open up some really interesting differential options for us.
Yeah, but at the same time, you need to target the strong teams where the point ceiling is higher, right? For example,
Strong teams will be targeted anyway, na? Zone, regardless of zonals. So
yeah,
zonal should be used,
zonal
I
is
think, for mainly for interesting punts. Like I really want to know who the top 3 teams are in regards to chances considered through the center. So if I can
Yeah, it's
see,
Tony.
yeah,
It's Tony when it comes to that one. Yeah, it's Tony, by the way.
yeah.
But I think people are selling Tony. So if somebody is interested in keeping Tony, they should keep Tony in that case. But yeah. But people have sold Tony a lot. His prices have gone down. So people are moving to Watkins, people are moving to Haaland, people are moving to Kane. And
But
the popular
you see my point, right?
Yeah, I do. I do. I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah.
disagreeing with you. I'm not disagreeing. But this is something, what I'm trying to say is, next season we are going to really revamp, because all the positive feedback and all the overwhelming support that we have got from Twitter. We really need to sit down end of the season to really look at the zonal weakness as to how we are really going to shape it up next season. I think there's going to be a little bit more work going into the zonal weakness to make it more comprehensive and more supportive of what we are really proposing. So I think next season is something that is going to be really interesting, because last season we started it, and we did it in a way. This season we did a little bit of more revamping, but I think next season is something that we're going to really shape it up in a bit more better way. But I get your point completely, and I think this is something similar feedback I've got in Twitter as well. So we're going to take into all that into consideration, and then probably we're going to move forward with it. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Let's go to the question and answers then. We have already crossed the 50 minutes mark, so which is fine. We haven't really delayed too much. It's usually 45 minutes. We have finished actually 45 minutes, but I think we were talking more from the zonal, how to reshape the zonal. That took us another 5 minutes. Right. All right. So question answers. Aminun 9 says, Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum assalam, brother. Good to see you. And then somebody from the community is asking, replace Rashford with whom? Parvez, I'll come to you first with this question.
তো রাশফোর্ডের রিপ্লেসমেন্ট হিসেবে আমি প্রথম সাজেস্ট করব হলো আমাদের যে ট্রান্সফার যে আমরা লিস্টটা দিছিলাম সেই জায়গাটাতে আমি নিয়ে আসতেছি রাশফোর্ডের রিপ্লেসমেন্টের। সো ওখানে প্রথমে আমাদের চয়েসটা ছিল হলো গ্রিলিশ, এবং সেকেন্ড চয়েসটা ছিল মার্টিনেলি। এখন ডিপেন্ড করে হলো যে কে কোন ফরমেশন, ফোর্টে 32 যেমন 32-তে কিন্তু মার্টিনেলি খেলা আছে এবং গ্রিলিশের খেলা নাই। আর তারপরে আবার 34-এ যায় মার্টিনেলির কিন্তু এখন কোনো ব্ল্যাঙ্ক নাই। সো মার্টিনেলি কুড বি এ ভেরি গুড অপশন, যে আসলে আমার মধ্যে টিমের মধ্যে আসলে আমাকে আর ওকে ট্রান্সফার করানোর কোনো প্রয়োজন নাই যদি আমার টিমে মার্টিনেলি না থাকে। ইভেন যদি মার্টিনেলি থেকে থাকে ওডেগার্ড অথবা সাকা, যদি এরকম অপশন থাকে যে মার্টিনেলি আছে, সাকাকে আমি নিয়ে আসতে পারি। সো এইটা একটা অপশন হইতে পারে যে রাশফোর্ডের অপশন। এবং রাশফোর্ড যখন আবার ব্যাক করবে তখন আমি কোনখান থেকে ব্যাক করব সেই জিনিসটা মাথার মধ্যে রাখতে হবে। রাশফোর্ড মেবি টটেনহামের সাথে অথবা অ্যাস্টন ভিলার সাথে গেমে 33-তে অথবা 34-এ ব্যাক করবে। তো রাশফোর্ডকে কিন্তু লাস্টের দিকে লাগবে। সো সেই টাকাটা ব্যাংকে রিজার্ভ রাখার পরে যে প্লেয়ারটা আমার জন্য সুইটেবল হবে সেটা হলো আমার জন্য সেই প্লেয়ারটার নাম। সো আমি ফার্স্ট করবো হলো গ্রিলিশ, দেন মার্টিনেলি, and then Cody Gakpo. Otherwise আমি অন্য যে সাজেশনটা করবো সেটা ওয়ালিসে আর আন্দ্রেস পেরেরা, যাদের ফিকচারটা এই মুহূর্তে কিন্তু যথেষ্ট ভালো। আর এই দুইজন প্লেয়ারকে যদি আমি টিমের মধ্যে কোনোভাবে অ্যাডজাস্ট করতে পারি তাহলে আমার অন্য জায়গাটাতে আমি বেশি ইনভেস্টমেন্ট, লাইক সালাকে আমি নিয়ে আসতে পারবো হ্যালান্ডের সাথে, হ্যালান্ড সালা ব্রুনো ফার্নান্ডেজ একসাথে টিমের মধ্যে থাকতে পারবে। দ্যাটস ওয়াই আমি প্রথম তিনজনটাকেই আগায় রাখবো, গ্রিলিশ এন্ড মার্টিনেলি এন্ড দেন গ্যাকপো।
Thanks, Parvez. Okay, let's go to the next one. Tanvitana, who congratulations again. He became a father today, and this is his second baby girl. So yeah, congratulations, brother. Congratulations again. Bye. And then Mohammad Sajjad Bhai is asking, main 11, Raya, Chilwell, Mings, Botman, Trippier. Midfield is Saka, March, McAllister. And then striker is Haaland, Watkins, Kane. And sub is Kepa, Madison, Rashford, Estupinian. Now, with whom should I transfer Madison? I'll come to you, Ashfaq.
Why is this me? I thought this was Saif's question.
If you look at yourself in the screen, I'm going down that way.
This is a conspiracy.
Whatever
So,
you may call it.
Sajid bhai, you have a decent squad, but probably my priority transfer this week would be Rashford rather than Madison, because Madison does not have a blank in game week 32, and Rashford is probably not going to play next two game weeks. So rather than Madison, I would probably transfer out Rashford instead. And Rashford replacement we have already discussed. Martinelli is a good option. So is Grealish. If you're playing the free hit 32, I think Grealish should be your best option to get. So I think if you're transferring out either Rashford or Madison, I think you should go with either Martinelli or Grealish.
Yeah, I think I would go with both of them, to be honest. Martinelli and Grealish. Martinelli is in wonderful form, so yeah, you shouldn't really consider him out. Yeah, and if you have a free hit, please go ahead with it. Okay, Jevin Hassan Jishan is saying, hello guys, hope you all are doing well. Yes, brother, we are all good. Already transferred out Rashford for Grealish, Chilwell to Pedro Porro with a hit. Saif, what do you think? Chilwell to Pedro Porro with a hit?
It's a really interesting transfer because you have seen the zonal. Bournemouth are really weak through the left flank, so Poro might give you a big return. But thing is, I would not have transferred out Chilwell because he was sent off in the UCL match, and I think he will be pretty safe from rotation in the Premier League because he won't be able to play in the UCL, and they are likely to go out anyway. And Chilwell has been really attacking, even though Lampard has come in, and we don't really know how he'll play. But anyway, I like the Poro transfer, but not for Chilwell. But you have done it already. So anyway, good luck with that. In isolation,
No,
I really like the Poro transfer.
he has transferred Rashford for Grealish. He hasn't done the
He
Chilwell.
hasn't transferred Porro.
Sorry.
He's asking whether it's a good option or not for a minus hit.
Okay. I read it wrong. So I thought he has done both. So if you can transfer out anyone else from your team, I would do that. But keep Chilwell. But I think you can. If you went for Grealish from Rashford, if you have the fund, I think you can sell another defender for Poro. But I would keep Chilwell at least for this game week. Who are Chelsea playing? Brighton. So they are likely to concede, but I think I really like Chilwell's attacking stats, and I would keep Chilwell. But anyway, if you want to chase ranks, I think that's a good move.
Right. Thanks. Now this is an interesting one coming from Mr. Chaudhary Shaheb. Right. Okay. Madison to Bruno. Should I go? Parvez.
মেডিসন থেকে তো যে কোনো দিকেই যাওয়া যেতে পারে, এটাই হলো বড় কথা। মেডিসন থেকে অ্যান্ড্রেস পেরেরাও নাও যেতে পারে, বাট মেডিসন থেকে ব্রুনো খুবই একটা ভালো অপশন, কারণ জোনাল সাজেস্ট করতেছে ঠিক লেফট ফ্ল্যাঙ্কটাতে হলো ব্রুনো ফার্নান্ডেস অ্যান্ড অ্যান্টনি হলো এক নাম্বার টপ এই গেমে। ফরেস্ট আসলে এই ম্যাচটাতে আবার আরেকটা জিনিস হলো তাদের রাশফোর্ড খেলবে না, সো ফরওয়ার্ড লাইনে তাদের একটা চেঞ্জ আসবে, প্লাস ক্যাসিমিরো অ্যাড হবে টিমের সাথে। সো অবভিয়াসলি ব্রুনো ফার্নান্ডেস একটা ভালো ফান্ড হইতে পারে।
I agree with that. I totally agree with that, to be honest. Right. Tanvita Nadan says Rashford to Martinelli, Madison to Gakpo. No free hit available. Overall 90,000 K. Ashfaq?
So we have discussed this already. Between these, I think Martinelli is the best option you can get. He does not blank in the upcoming game weeks. With his form, there were some concern with him, having his minutes managed, but with his form, is practically undroppable. And with Jesus coming in, I think he really plays off well with each other. So Rashford to Martinelli would be a no-brainer for me.
And Madison to Gakpo, you think it's a good move?
Gakpo could be. He's a bit of a differential at the moment. I would rather see if I could bring in Salah instead, because I think he has the higher point ceiling. He will be a very popular captaincy option in game week 32 as well. So I would rather see if you can roam around a bit and tweak around a bit and see if you can get Salah in. But Gakpo isn't a bad choice per se. but he's
Liverpool
very high
have
differential at the
all
moment.
their
I'd
forwards
rather
back.
have.
So Gakpo is a rotation risk. So I would not go there. Luis Diaz is
Yeah.
the final one
Right.
left. He is back now. So all only fit. So we don't really know who will play alongside Salah.
If you're bent on Gakpo, I would rather have Salah and Gakpo in your team, not at the cost of Salah. So Madison
Yeah,
would be
but I
my
think that is going too heavy on Liverpool, to be honest. If you're going with Salah and Gakpo, and I think you're putting too many eggs in one basket with too much risk and not much outcome, to be honest. So I wouldn't suggest that. I would rather suggest Madison to Salah if possible. Otherwise, you go with maybe Grealish here if you're really going. Yeah,
There are much better midfield options rather than
yeah,
Gakpo. Gakpo really
exactly.
hasn't really shown
Exactly.
anything
No,
anything good. So any
I
good
would. I,
form of that we would like to bring him in for a fit or something like that.
totally agree. I
Salah
totally
is the
agree on that.
one. If you want to grow for Liverpool attack, Salah is the one.
Yeah, I totally agree on that. To be honest, I feel that Gakpo doesn't warrant a place, like he's not showing that kind of a performance where he warrants. Whereas there is already so much competition for the midfield position. Yeah, I don't think so. He's now kind of on top of the mind of lots of FPL managers. He's a differential, but I think there is still differentials in a lot of places. Yeah, yeah. Okay, let's go to the next one. Mahbub Shakib Bhai is asking, among Watkins, Saka, Trippier, and Harrison start two. Saif?
Start to Harrison is the easily benchable one. They are playing Liverpool at home.
Finally.
What? Finally, what?
I'm not sure what that finally means, actually.
We can see your face.
Oh, okay. Oh my God. Oh my God. Ashfaq, sometimes, yeah.
that
Sometimes
was
you
a
come up with this
really
out of.
cryptic. Finally, I was
Yeah,
like,
true, true, true.
I was like, I said bench Harrison, and he said finally. What
Yeah,
to
the
do?
timing
What
of
to
it
do with
was
that?
so.
So, yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Even same. I fully agree. The timing of it. Anyway, yeah. Over to you, Saif. Go on.
Saka is the one I would really play. Then it gets tricky between Watkins and Trippier. And going by the zonal, I would go for Trippier because we have seen that Aston Villa has conceded fair few chances through the left flank, and Trippier will be on all set pieces. So I would just bench Watkins and play Trippier. There is no doubt about playing Saka, but Watkins and Trippier is the trickier one. So I would go for Trippier, sorry.
So Saka and Trippier is what we are suggesting. Watkins
Yeah,
would be first bench, and of course Harrison would be second bench. Yeah,
yeah.
that's what we are suggesting. Okay, thanks, guys. Let's make it very clear for the audience because we talk a lot, and sometimes people might not just get the gist out of it. Yeah. All
Yeah.
right. Hamim Nine is saying sell Madison or march with a hit. I got Salah, Saka, Martinelli. Free 34. Parvez.
সো ফ্রি হিট 34 এর জন্য যেহেতু প্ল্যান করাই আছে সেহেতু সেল করবে মেডিসন অথবা মার্চ। এইখানে আমি অবভিয়াসলি মেডিসনকে সেল করতে যাব, মার্চকে না। কারণ মার্চ এবং মেডিসনের মধ্যে টিম ওয়াইজ যদি আমি পারফরমেন্স দেখি যে কোন টিমের পারফরমেন্স ভালো, তো ব্রাইটন লাস্ট 6 ম্যাচে কিন্তু 72 চান্স ক্রিয়েট করছে, সেইখানে অনলি 42 চান্স ক্রিয়েট করছে হলো লিস্টার। সো এইরকম টিমের বিপক্ষে আবার আরেকটা জিনিস হলো যে সাইড দিয়ে সাধারণত মেডিসন খেলে, এই সাইড দিয়ে অনলি 13 চান্স ক্রিয়েট করছে মেডিসন। আর যে সাইডে মার্চ খেলে সেখানে 17 চান্স ক্রিয়েট করছে এবং ওভারঅল টিমের পারফরমেন্সটা খুবই ভালো। তাদের ব্রাইটনের 72 চান্স কনসিডার ক্রিয়েটের মধ্যে এই জিনিসটা মোস্ট ইম্পর্টেন্ট যে আমার আসলে ফর্ম প্লেয়ারকে টিমের মধ্যে রাখতে হবে। আবার আরেকটা জিনিস হলো মেডিসনের প্রাইসটা অনেক বেশি এবং মার্চকে আমি শেষের দিকে অর্থাৎ গেমিক 35, 36, 37 এই দিকে কিন্তু তাদের ফিকচার আবার কিন্তু ভালো হয়ে আসতেছে। সো 5.1 এ মার্চ ইজ এ ভেরি গুড অপশন আমার কাছে মনে হয়। সো সেল মেডিসন।
Yeah, sell Madison. I had him for 5 weeks and he gave me 1.1.1.1 point from game week 26 onwards. Yeah. One of my wildcard blunders, I would say. But yeah, that's that. Yeah. All right. I think I can answer this question. Mr. Chaudhary is asking Salah, Haaland, Bruno, Watkins pick the cap from the lot. Obvious, brother. It's Haaland. Don't overthink. Don't try to overdo anything. Don't listen to anything else. Whatever people are telling you, just put it on Haaland. I think you know the reasons as to why Haaland is important. I'm not going to go into that. Just go with Haaland, yeah. Just go with Haaland, and then you have the differentials and it will allow you to climb up ranks if Haaland delivers as well. Yeah, right. Okay, Aminur 9 says then play Kepa or Steele. Ashfaq?
Uh, I don't expect any of them to keep a clean sheet this week. They play each other, so between them, I think rather go with your gut. But if I were you, I'd probably play Kepa because between them, I think Kepa is the better keeper. So maybe likely he will get 1 or 2 points extra for his save points. But either way, I'm not expecting clean sheets for either of them. I think it will be a very open game.
Thanks. Okay. Some people call it a conspiracy. I don't call it a conspiracy. Actually, it's always about being karma is a bitch, you know. Faiz Ahmed Iman says Chilwell to Diaz, bench Rashford, play March. That's question 1. Question 2 is Rashford to Grealish, bench March, play Chilwell. Which one do you prefer most? Saif, over to you.
I would do Rashford to Grealish, play March, bench Chilwell.
Okay. What would be the reason behind?
I don't really like benching Brighton just because they are playing Chelsea away. If you go by the form, Brighton is the better team on paper right now. Not on the paper, on field. So if you have any of the Brighton midfielders, I would play them. And also Chelsea will be hungover from their UCL fixture. They lost 2-0 and they will also have one eye on the second leg. So they will be distracted mentally and physically. So I think Brighton have every chance to go there and score at least 2 to 3 goals. Anyway, Chelsea's form has been very, very bad, so I would not bench March anyway. So play March, and Grealish is the one I think. Even though I have suggested Rashford to Grealish, but he might be benched. We don't really know. He has been playing constantly in the league, but he was seen a bit fatigued at the end of the UCL match. He played the full 90 minutes, I think. So he was a bit tired. But anyway, I think City does not really have a left wing option now because Foden is out. So it's likely that he will play. So just for that reason, and also the Zonal has shown how vulnerable Leicester are through their right wing, right flank defensively. So if Grealish plays, he will have a very big likelihood of falling. So that's why I would do Rashford to Grealish and then play March and then bench Chilwell.
Thanks, Saif. Just to add to what you said already, why March? Couple of things again. Brighton has been showing immense amount of form when they're playing away. I think they have not lost a match since the last 8 or 9 or maybe 10 matches away. They haven't really lost and they've played very well. That's one thing. And the second thing is that, you know, in terms of the form, I'm not expecting Chilwell to really keep a clean sheet. And I think another factor that you should play March is because Brighton needs to really win. And if any points they get from this particular matches would allow them their chances of playing in the Europa League, yeah, increases their chance of playing in the Europa League. So they would like to capitalize on that. So I would say Brighton is more motivated than Chelsea at this moment. Chelsea is, for the first time, are in the second half of the table. So yeah, since 2004, I think, or 2003, yeah. They're for the first time they're in the second half of the table. So yeah, that just goes to show where
before the Abramovich era.
Yeah. So yeah, that's something I just wanted to add. Yeah, the Brighton's momentum and Chelsea's momentum. You need to take that into consideration as to why you should play March. Yeah, it's very important. Okay, Tanvitana is asking Harrison to Grealish, Chilwell to Lisandro Martinez, or someone 4.5 midfielder for -4. Suggest one. Free hitting in game week 32. Keep Rashford or sell him for Martinelli. Overall 2.5k rank. Wow, that's good rank. Really good rank, Tanvir. Well done, brother.
খুবই ভালো র্যাঙ্ক।
Always.
এখানে আমি সাজেস্ট করবো হ্যারিসন টু গ্রিলিশ, পপুলার ট্রান্সফার, হ্যারিসন টু গ্রিলিশ, বাট নট চিলওয়েল টু মার্টিনেজ। এখানে চিলওয়েল টু মার্টিনেজ আমি -4 খাইতে পারবো না, কারণ আমার টিমে যেহেতু রাশফোর্ড আছে, রাশফোর্ড কিন্তু 3 গেম উইক খেলবে না। আমি ধরে নিচ্ছি 3 গেম উইক, সেই 3 গেম উইক 2 সপ্তাহ যেহেতু বলছে, কাপল অফ উইকস বা 2-3টা ম্যাচ, আমি ধরে নিচ্ছি যে টটেনহামের আগে সে ব্যাক করতেছে না। সো এই মুহূর্তে আমি রাশফোর্ডকে সেল করতে যাব, এবং মার্টিনেলির ওভারঅল ওনারশিপ কিন্তু অনেক বেশি, আপনার র্যাঙ্কও অনেক ভালো। সো রাশফোর্ড টু মার্টিনেলি অ্যান্ড হ্যারিসন টু গ্রিলিশ, এটা যদি সম্ভব হয় খুবই ভালো। আর এদিকে 4.5 এর একটা মিডফিল্ডার আমি আগের বারও সাজেস্ট করছিলাম। আপনার টিমে আপনি অ্যান্ড্রেস প্যারেরাকে যদি টিমের মধ্যে রাখেন তাহলে ইজিলি এটা মেকআপ করা সম্ভব। অ্যান্ড দেন পরবর্তীতে আপনি গ্রিলিশ থেকে আপনি ইজিলি আবার অন্যদিকে ব্যাক করতে পারবেন, রাশফোর্ডে ব্যাক করতে পারবেন গেম উইক 33-এ যেমন তাদের টটেনহ্যামের সাথে খেলা আছে, তারপরে অ্যাস্টন ভিলার সাথে খেলা আছে। সো সেখানে আপনি গ্রিলিশ থেকে আবার ব্যাক করতে পারবেন। সো আমার কাছে মনে হয় হ্যারিসন টু গ্রিলিশ অ্যান্ড 0.4 এর 4.5 এর একজন মিডফিল্ডার, সেটা আমি সাজেস্ট করবো অ্যান্ড্রেস প্যারেরা। অ্যান্ড দেন যদি রাশফোর্ডকেও সেল করতে হয় -8 খাইতে হয়, আমার মনে হয় এটা -8 খাইলেও আপনার কাছে জন্য আপনার টিমের জন্য ক্ষতি হবে না। আপনার র্যাঙ্ক যতও ভালো, রাশফোর্ড কিন্তু 2 গেমই 3 গেমই খেলবে না। তো আর গেমিক গুলোও কিন্তু খুব ক্লোজ। আমরা ফিকচার ক্লাসের মধ্যে দেখলাম যে গেমিক 31-32 হলো এক সপ্তাহের মধ্যে, 32 এবং 33 কিন্তু একই সপ্তাহের মধ্যে। অর্থাৎ যদি 2টা সপ্তাহ না খেলে তাহলে অ্যাটলিস্ট 3 গেমিক কিন্তু সে মিস। সো এখানে ধরা যাচ্ছে যে সে মোস্ট লাইকলি টটেনহ্যামের সাথে অর অ্যাস্টন ভিলার সাথে ব্যাক করবে। সো এই সময়টাতে আমি আসলে আমার পয়েন্ট গেইন করার জন্য আমি প্লেয়ারকে নিব। সো আমার মনে হয় এই দুজন প্লেয়ারই খুব ভালো অপশন, গ্রিলিশ এবং মার্টিনেলি, যাদের ওনারশিপও মোটামুটি ভালো। I like to go Harrison to Grealish and a 4.5 midfielder, and then sell Rashford for Martinelli.
Thanks, Parvez. Thanks. Then I think Mohammad Sajjad is suggesting somebody. First one, bro. I don't think so. I don't know which one he was referring to, but anyway. Then Shian Naim is back. Assalamu alaikum. Keman achen apnara? We are all good, brother. All good. Ramadan is catching up with us with our professional and personal life, to be honest. But yeah, besides that, we are all good. People are really exhausted after office hours, and we find it extremely difficult to start the pod on time for that reason. But yeah, hope things will get better after Ramadan, yeah, and just a couple of days, and inshallah, Allah will give us all the patience that we need. Okay, Farad Muhammad is asking, good to see you, for brother. By the way, Rashford to anyone who doesn't blank in on 32 also has a double game week on 34 for long-term plan. Ashfaq?
Who does not blank on 32, has a double game week 34. In that criteria, I think there are only two teams that falls into place. One is I think one is West Ham, one is Liverpool, and another one is Fulham. So between Liverpool at that price point, there is Gakpo, but like Saipa rightly said, that all of Liverpool's forward line is back. So likely there will be some forward rotations between Gakpo and Firmino. Luis Diaz is back as well. So and Jota is back as well. So there will be some rotational concerns there. So I would rather see if you can bring in Salah, because Salah does not blank in Game Week 32. He will be a great captaincy option in Game Week 32 as well. They play Nottingham Forest, I think. And double Game Week 34, that's Salah too. So I would rather see that if you could, although he's very around 4 million more expensive, I would rather say if you can bring in Salah in your team.
Yeah. So in simple answer, Rashford to Salah, that would be the ideal transfer if you can get him in. Yeah, brother.
Yeah.
Just that you be careful with that. But I don't know. We don't know your structure of your team, and we don't know your budget. So see if you can accommodate that. That is the only option, or the only player who has the potential of playing, no rotation risk, and kind of covers up the options that you have given. Yeah. All right, Saif, question to you. Shian Naim is asking, Madison to Martinelli করে ফেলছি already. Rashford to McAllister কাকে সেল করা যায়? -4 দিয়ে গ্রিলিশ নিব নাকি শর্ট টু টিএ করে ফেলবো?
আসলে র্যাশফোর্ড আর কাকে সেল করতে হবে এটা আসলে খুব ইজি. Rashford should be sold. There is no point taking on keeping a injured player, because and United has really been vague about his status, so it might turn out to be a long-term one than the one we are predicting. So there is no point really in keeping an injured player. And McAllister, I have not really shown any downturn in form. And Brighton has been playing well, so McAllister should be there. And Grealish, I think -4 Rashford to Grealish is a very good transfer. I think also, as I said, Grealish looked tired, but I think he will play because he is on form, and Pep really does not have any other options because Foden is not there. So I think Grealish will play. We can't really second guess Pep, but I think Grealish will play, and so I would do Rashford to Grealish. শর্ট ওটিএ -4 নিয়ে করা যেতে পারে যদি আপনি ফ্রি হিট 32 না করেন। ফ্রি হিট 32 করলে আসলে এটা করা দরকার নেই, কারণ 32 তে আপনি এমনি টিএ নিতে পারবেন। যদি 32-তে ফ্রি হিট না খেলেন তাহলে লিভারপুলের ফিক্সচারস আর গুড এনাফ, বাট আই প্রিফার রাশফোর্ড টু গ্রিলিশ।
Right. Thanks. Guys, please continue pressing. If you like the answers what you are giving, please continue pressing the like button, please. That would be sincerely appreciated. Don't hold yourself back from pressing the like button, please. Yeah. And if you don't like it, show us the angry reaction. But give a reaction, man. Give a reaction. Don't be a poker face, like don't give a poker face. Either be happy, be like, or like what rubbish. Say something. Yeah. All right. Next one from Chianheim again. DDG or Raya, Estupinian or Shar, Kader Khelabo. Parvez?
আমি এখানে ডিজে এবং রায়ার মধ্যে রায়াকে খেলাইতে যাবো, কারণ রায়ার খেলা হলো উলসের সাথে অ্যাওয়ে ম্যাচ যদিও, বাট এই ম্যাচটাতে উলস যতটা অ্যাটাকিং টিম না, তার চাইতে ফরেস্ট কিন্তু আমার কাছে মনে হয় হোমে ততটা অনেক ডিস্ট্রাক্টিভ, অর্থাৎ তারা ক্লিন শিট উইপ আপ করতে পারে হলো ম্যানচেস্টার ইউনাইটেড। তো আমার প্রেডিকশন ছিল ওইখানে হলো 1-2 মানে স্কোর করবে আর কি নটিংহ্যাম ফরেস্ট। সো আমি ধরে এই ম্যাচটাতে যেহেতু স্কোর করবে সেহেতু আমি ডিজেকে না খেলে রায়াকে খেলাবো, এবং রায়া উলসের সাথে উলসের শটগুলো হয় এবং সেগুলো খুব ইজিলি সেভ পয়েন্ট তার কাছ থেকে আশা করা যায়। তো আমি রায়াকে খেলাইতে যাবো, এটা হলো পার্সোনাল ওপিনিয়ন। বাট দুইজনেই আর কি সেম পজিশনেই আছে, মানে সমান জবেই আছে, যে কাউকে আমি আগায় পিছায় রাখি, বাট আমি হইলে রায়াকে খেলাবো। অ্যান্ড স্টিফিনান অ্যান্ড সারের মধ্যে আমি যদি আমার টিমে ট্রিপিয়ার থাকতো তাহলে আমি ডবল আপ করতাম না, সার আর ট্রিপিয়ার করতাম না, আমি স্টিফিনানকে খেলাতাম। আর যদি আমার টিমে ট্রিপিয়ার না থাকে তাহলে অবভিয়াসলি আমি সার।
Thanks, Parvez. Then he's followed up with another question. Isaac কি নেক্সট ম্যাচে স্টার্ট করবে? কি মনে হয়? লাস্ট ম্যাচে স্টার্ট করেছিল, সো হিসাব অনুযায়ী উইলসন স্টার্ট করার কথা নেক্সট ম্যাচ। Over to you, Ashfaq, with a tricky one.
So
This will wake you up from sleep.
So I have Isaac, so I'm not really worried about Isaac's position at the moment, because between Wilson and Isaac, I still think Isaac is the first choice there. And what you've seen before in other lineups of Eddie Howe, that we've seen Isaac and Wilson play together, right? We've seen Wilson play off the right and Isaac in the middle, and I have probably rarely seen Wilson complete 90 minutes whenever he's playing, because he's very injury prone, and Eddie Howe is careful on his minutes as well. So even if Wilson plays, Isaac will likely not play. If Wilson plays and Isaac is benched, he'll likely not complete the 90 minutes, and Isaac will come in. And whenever Isaac comes in, I think he always looks a threat, and looks like he can score a goal at any time. But between them, I still believe Isaac will start the match, because I think he's first choice. With Wilson's form, I think they might start together. But my bet is still on Isaac starting against Villa.
Okay. Sharaf Zuhair, your friend is back. What do you want to call it? Saif. Is Grealish playing full time in UCL? A concern for his minutes in PL?
একটু আগে যেটা বললাম আর কি, যে গ্রিলিশকে ওই 90 মিনিটস খেলছে এবং হি লুক টায়ার্ড এট দ্য এন্ড, বিকজ হি রিয়েলি পুট ইন এ গ্রেট শিফট. হি ইজ রিয়েলি ডিফেন্সিভলি ভ্যালুয়েবল টু. হি অলওয়েজ কামস ব্যাক অন ডিফেন্স and help out the defense. So, but anyway, I think Grealish is in the best of his physical shape since he joined Man City. He has been playing well, and he has been playing consistently over the last 10 or 11 matches, I think. So he's their best choice left winger as of now. So also Foden is out injured, and Man City has to win all their remaining games to win the title. So I don't think Pep will go easy in the league anyway, and they also own 3-0. So that's that. So my bet is he will start. So, but we can't really second guess Pep, but logic says he will start, unless he has some minor injury or he has some dead leg or something like that. But if he is fully recovered from that fatigue, I think he will start.
Thanks. Okay, then he's followed up with another question. If you want to really transfer one from each combination this week, who would it be? Okay, one from each combination. একজনকে দুইটা কম্বিনেশনের মধ্যে একজন করে দুই কম্বিনেশন থেকে। ওকে, পারভেজ, who would it be? ক্যাস্টেনিয়া চিলওয়েলের মধ্যে কাকে আর রাশফোর্ড এন্ড ম্যাডিসনের মধ্যে কাকে?
আমি 2 নাম্বারটাকে ট্রান্সফার আউট করতে যাব, অর্থাৎ রাশফোর্ড মেডিসনকে ট্রান্সফার করতে যাব, কারণ
হ্যাঁ, বাট
মেডিসনের
একজন বলছে, ও বলছে দুইটা কম্বিনেশন থেকে একজন করে।
দুইটা কম্বিনেশন একজন, রাইট? তাহলে ক্যাস্টেনিয়া এবং মেডিসন, না সরি
ক্যাস্টেনিয়া এন্ড ম্যাডিসন।
না সরি ক্যাস্টেনিয়া এন্ড রাশফোর্ড। মেডিসনকে আমি রাখিয়ে দিতে হবে তাহলে, কারণ তখন আর কি ওই কি বলে আর কি, মানে টাকা দিয়ে আর কি ওইরকম প্লেয়ারকে পালতে হবে আর কি। বাট আমি এখানে বলবো যে এখানে আপনি এক্সট্রা হিট নিয়ে হলেও মেডিসনকে সরাই ওখানে অন্য প্লেয়ার নিয়ে আসেন, যাতে এই জায়গাটাতে বেনিফিট পাইতে পারে। বাট আমি যদি এখান থেকে একটা করে পিক করি, দেন ক্যাস্টেনিয়া এন্ড রাশফোর্ড।
এই গেমে কি মেডিসন স্কোর করবে?
রাইট, এই কথাটা আমি আমার ঠিক সের পরেই বলতে চাচ্ছিলাম, বিকজ আমি রেফার করছি যে মেডিসনকে যেহেতু টিম থেকে আমার টিমের মধ্যে ছিল, আমি টিম থেকে বের করে দিছি অলরেডি, ট্রান্সফার আউট মেডিসন। সো মেডিসন,
Otherwise, you are not the Kufa when it comes to medicine. Huh? I'm the Kufa and I'm selling him this week. Yeah, 26 গেম থেকে নিয়ে পুষতেছি, এখন 31 গেম চলতেছে, এক পয়েন্ট করে দিয়ে আসছে। So I'm the Kufa as well. সারা আমাদের ঘনফুটবল যারাই দেখছে সবাই জানে যে I'm the Kufa when it comes to medicine. Yeah, and everybody knows.
কুফা বা এরকম জিনিস না, এই মুহূর্তে আসলে যে প্লেয়ারটা আমার খেলবে না, এই অ্যাটলিস্ট মেডিসন তো 2 পয়েন্ট তো দিবে, ম্যাচ খেললে 2 পয়েন্ট দিবে, অ্যাসিস্ট করে ফেললে তো সেটা একটা বার। সো আমি
ম্যাডিসন এখন 2 পয়েন্টও দেন, ইয়েলো কার্ড খায় ও 1 পয়েন্ট।
সেই ক্ষেত্রে আমি ওই জন্য আমি বললাম যে আমি এই দুইটাকে এখান থেকে বাদ দিতাম, বাট আমার টিমে যদি তারপরও মেডিসনও থাকতো, আমি অবভিয়াসলি মেডিসনকেও বের করে দিতাম। আমি এর জন্য একটা পারতে এক্সট্রা -4 খাইতাম। বাট ও নোস সাহেব যেটা বললো, আসলে মেডিসন এখানে স্কোরও করতে পারে। So what do you know?
Right. Thanks, Parvis. And then Oin Mustafa Chaudhary bhai is asking Rashford to who with -4? Ashfaq?
If you can bring in Salah, then bring in Salah. If you cannot bring in Salah with your transfer budget and playing the free hit in game week 32, bring in Grealish. If you're not, do not plan to play the free hit in game week 32, bring in Martinelli.
Right. Then Saraf is following up with another question. Wish we can see Saib Bhai's face when Ashfaq Bhai named Hendo Milner Dio as potential penalty taker. Okay. Okay. Ashfaq.
I know.
That was a big appeal.
I know what his face looked like. His face turned to his jersey color. His face turned red.
Yeah, because I think probably that was a very weird take that you gave. Actually,
I understood Milner, but I don't really understand how Hendo is coming here and how Hendo's name is here.
No fair criticism, to be honest. I'm not going to be overtly critical about it, but I found that take from Ashfaq was a little bit over the top, to be honest. That was like trying to hit somebody first.
No, because Salah is missing penalties. I was trying to figure out who the other options were. I've seen Fabinho take them before.
Yeah, but he's not fit.
Milner was a first choice whenever he played.
He's too old.
At some point. So if Salah is definitely,
so the logical third option that came to your mind is Henderson, right?
Well,
so only the midfielder take penalties. There is Nunes, there is Jota, there is Gakpo even.
No, because I probably seen him take 1 or 2 penalties for England, I think, if I remember. I don't know why Hendo came in, because I think he took 1 or 2.
When it comes to Gareth Southgate, that's a whole different conversation we are having, yeah. And when it comes to Jurgen Klopp, we are having a different conversation.
Harry Kane takes penalty. He takes corners under Gareth Southgate. So
yeah. As an England fan, Ashfaq, you should know that. As an England fan, you should have known that.
Yeah, because
anyway.
I've seen him. Take
England fan in him that spoke during that moment.
One of the
England fan in him came out. So.
One of the most bizarre moment in my whole Ghono football fantasy show was this weird take of Ashfaq really suggesting Henderson, to be honest. I really loved it, Ashfaq. Brilliant take on that one. I swear.
Right, because
outstanding, out of the blue.
I was trying to figure out who do I see taking penalty if Salah is not there, and I suddenly came into mind that Henderson. I think I've seen him in the penalty spot somewhere. I think I'm seeing him.
You have seen him take the ball, but he always protects the ball for the eventual penalty taker. That was he always does. So I think that is the picture you have in your mind. He with the ball in the penalty spot.
Right. Okay. Let's go. Let's go to the next question. Wazid Al Raziba is asking, suggest the best replacement of Shaw, who has fixtures in blank game week 32. I have Trippier, Botman, me, and Estupinian in defense. Whom did I ask the last question? I forgot the question. Okay, Saif, then it's over to you.
Go to the next question as well.
Oh, okay. He has 1.8 million, 8 million in the bank. Sorry for that.
If you're not free hitting in 32, since you are transferring in someone who has a fixture in 32, I think Trent can be a good punt. Also, an Arsenal defense I would have suggested, but Arsenal has a very good fixture in 32, but the fixture afterwards is not that good, and they have been considering the odd goals here and there. So I would not suggest them long term. So if you have the money, I would go for Trent.
Okay. Interesting. Parvez, I think this is a good one. Farhad Sharkar, Farhad is asking, City defense or City attack?
City attack. City attack is
Yeah, I agree with that. I think City defense is still a bit vulnerable. They're still conceding 1 or 2 goals. I think that is why people have really got frustrated with Ederson, because there's hardly any shots on target, and if there is 1 or 2 shots, he saves one.
First shot that he faces, he concedes. That's
Yeah,
the problem.
that's the thing. That's the problem. So I think that is why we should focus. And I think from the City attack, it's now a bit more predictable because of the injuries and because of the form that people are finding. The City attack, you could also go with Alvarez, considering the UCL championship. Yeah, you could also go on Alvarez as a sort of like another punt. Sorry. Yeah, I mean, I have taken Alvarez, so I'm not. It's not like a weird shout I'm making here. I have taken Alvarez myself last week. Yeah, because of the Haaland situation.
Touch turns to goals. Alvarez scored again.
Okay, you might say it that way. You might say it that way, Ashfaq. But the truth was, this is something we discussed at night, and we've been discussing this. That okay, let's just take the situation into consideration. Okay, 70 minutes for Haaland or 30 minutes for Haaland. Yeah, that was the situation we knew. Okay, last game week. Now, if it is 70 minutes, 30 minutes is for Alvarez. If it is 30 minutes, 70 minutes for Alvarez, that means 30 minutes for Haaland. And it was pretty obvious that he would come. And with Southampton being the team,
আমার নেওয়ার পিছনে আরেকটা লজিক হলো ওই ম্যাচে যদি 30 মিনিটও খেলে, যেটা আমি এক্সপেক্ট করছিলাম, এবং 30 মিনিট খেলছে, একটা গোল পাইছে, এই ম্যাচে আমি চাচ্ছি যে আলভারেজ যেন স্টার্ট করে। এই ম্যাচটা কিন্তু আলভারেজ স্টার্ট করার মতনই ম্যাচ। ইভেন মাহারেজ অথবা ইংলিশ কোনো সাইড চেঞ্জ করে দিয়ে আলভারেজকে স্টার্ট করাই দিতে পারে, কারণ আলভারেজ কিন্তু এই গেমে ম্যাচটার আগের ম্যাচটা কিন্তু যথেষ্ট ভালো খেলছে, যথেষ্ট ভালো।
Exactly, and I think that is the point. And I was discussing this with Alex as well. Alex thought it is a bit of a risk, and I was like, no, but the fact. And then when he understood the argument that I was trying to make, either 70 minutes or either 30 minutes, that means there's a slot available for Alvarez anyway. And with Southampton, that 30 minutes or 70 minutes is enough. And I think that is where we took the risk. Yeah, and it paid off. It paid off, and I think it lies with same with Leicester. So anybody wants to go with City attack, Alvarez is a very good option. Okay, Ashfaq has gone a little bit on the side, so I'll come to you on that for Saif. দুইটা ক্যাসেল আর দুইটা ব্রেন্টফোর্ড ডিফেন্ডার হয়ে গেছে, কাউকে চেঞ্জ করব নাকি রাশফোর্ডকে একটু রিলিজ করব? সাইফ, ওভার টু ইউ ফর দিস ওয়ান. I'll give Ashfaq a bit of a breathing space.
Drinking space.
Yeah, drinking space.
দুইটা নিউক্যাসল ডিফেন্স আসলে অনেকের টিমই আছে, এবং আই থিংক ইটস এ লং টার্ম হোল্ড because they are really good defensively.
I was good to answer
Brentford
this anyway.
What?
I was good to answer this, but anyway, go on.
But you went away and you went for a drink, so I'm getting this.
Yeah, let's go to the question.
Yeah. So I think দুইটা নিউক্যাসল ডিফেন্ডার আসলে ভেরি গুড হোল্ড, এখানে চেঞ্জ করার কোনো মানে নাই। ব্রেন্টফোর্ড ডিফেন্ডার একটা চেঞ্জ করা যায়, but not now because they have a very good fixture this game. I think they are playing Wolves. Wolves rarely score, and Brentford is a very good defensive, or at least very good team anyway. I think they are now a pretty decent upper middle table team. So এই গেমে কি দুটো ব্রেন্টফোর্ড রেখে দেওয়া যেতে পারে, প্লাস আপনি যদি ফ্রি হিট 32 না করেন, ওদের 32 তো ফিক্সচার আছে, তো নিউক্যাসল ব্রেন্টফোর্ড দুজনেরই 32 তে ফিক্সার আছে। আই থিংক ইটস লাক্সারি, দরকার নাই কোনো এর থেকে। র্যাশফোর্ড টু গ্রিলিশ ইজ বেটার আই থিংক।
Right. Okay. Abu Aisha Humaira is asking, bench Mitoma March, Chilwell Kepa in 11 বেশি রিস্ক হয়ে যায়? Ashfaq?
Like I said before, between the Chelsea and the Brighton game, I don't expect any of the team to keep a clean sheet. I think they're both vulnerable in defense. I think March and Mitoma has a higher point ceiling this week, so I would, if Chilwell it's either Chilwell between Mitoma and March. I think I would rather play one of Mitoma and March rather than play Chilwell, because I think they have the higher point ceiling rather than Chilwell. I don't know if you have a reserve keeper in hand, but if Kepa is your only keeper, you can play Kepa. But like I said, I don't expect any of the teams between Brighton and Chelsea to keep any clean sheets. So choice is up to you. I would rather go on the offense rather than the defense.
Yeah, and brother, if your question is whether it is Mitoma or March, I would say go with March. Sorry, go with Mitoma this week. Yeah, go with Mitoma, not March. Yeah, যদি দুইজনের মধ্যে ডিসিশন মেকার হেডেক হয়, then go with Mitoma, not with March. Yeah, but if it is both of them you want to play, go ahead. That's not a problem either. Yeah. Okay. Samin Rahman is asking, I don't have Bruno, so Madison to Bruno or Madison to Grealish, and bring TA for Chilwell Botman to TA with a minus hit. I'm happy to keep Rashford at the moment. Parvez?
সো রাশফোর্ড অ্যাট দ্য মোমেন্ট যেহেতু থাকতে যাচ্ছে, সেহেতু রাশফোর্ড থেকে সরার কোনো ইচ্ছাই নেই, কারণ হয়তো বা তার অনেক টিম ভ্যালু কমে যাবে এই ভয়ে। আমিও এটা সাজেস্ট করবো না, আমিও বলবো না আর কি, উৎসাহ দিব না, এনকারেজ করবো না আর কি রাশফোর্ডকে বের করার, বাট আমি হলে রাশফোর্ডকে বের করে দিতাম। এটা আলাদা ব্যাপার, এটা পুরোপুরি ভিন্ন ব্যাপার। এখন ব্যাপার হলো ব্রুনোকে আমি নিয়ে আসবো কিনা। যদি আমি ব্রুনোকে নিয়ে আসি তাহলে আমি চিলওয়েলেই থাকতে হবে, রাইট? আর যদি আমি মেডিসন থেকে যদি ব্রুনো না যায়, যদি আমি গ্রিলিশকে নেই, তাহলে টিএ কে নিতে পারবো আমি চিলওয়েলের জায়গায়। আমি 2 নাম্বার অপশনটাতে যাইতাম, আমি পার্সোনালি 2 নাম্বার অপশনে আমি ব্রুনোকে আনতাম না, আমি গ্রিলিশকে নিতাম এবং টিএ কে নিতাম, বিকজ অফ নেক্সট ফিকচার গুলাতে টিএ এর প্রসপেক্টটা, তার বিপিএস আমি লাস্ট ম্যাচে চেক করছি যথেষ্ট ভালো ছিল, এবং লাস্ট কয়েক ম্যাচে বিপিএস খুব ভালো পজিশনে যাচ্ছে, বিবিপিএসটা যেটা। সো আমার কাছে মনে হয় এই মুহূর্তে টিএ সামহাও আমার কাছে মনে হচ্ছে, যদিও সাইব আমার সাথে একমত না, সে আরেকটু ধৈর্য ধরার কথা বলছে। হ্যাঁ, এই গেমটাতে আপনি ধৈর্য ধরতেই পারেন, বাট আমি এই মুহূর্তে ধৈর্য ধরতাম না, আমি টিএ তে চলে যেতাম এবং লিভারপুল অ্যাসেটের মধ্যে ঝাঁপিয়ে পড়তাম। আমি পার্সোনালি, এটা আমার একদম পার্সোনাল অপিনিয়ন, আর এই কোশ্চেনের অ্যান্সারে ব্রুনোতে আমি যাইতাম না, আমি মেডিসন টু গ্রিলিশ and Botman to TA
With a -4. Okay.
with a -4.
Okay. Okay. Saif has...
Even with a -8, যদি রাশফোর্ডকে চেঞ্জ করতে হতো, with a -8 নিয়ে আমি রাশফোর্ডকে চেঞ্জ করতাম।
Saif, I want to take your view in this case.
Free hit 32 যদি না হয়, then TA I think is a good transfer in this game, because Liverpool has good fixtures coming up. But 32 the free hit hole, I would not go for the hit. I would stay away from TA this game week and then bring him in my free hit 32 and then assess going in for game 33. But এটা আসলে চেঞ্জ হয়ে যাবে আপনার ফ্রি হিট 32 বা ফ্রি হিট আপনার আছে কিনা। ফ্রি হিট যদি না থাকে, I think Liverpool assets are good transfers because they don't blank and they have a double coming up. So, and in that case, I think TA is the second best asset from the Liverpool team. So, if you have Salah,
শামীম রহমান
bring in
আমার
TA.
জিনিস লিখছে, একদম রিসেন্ট কমেন্ট লিখছে, অথবা ডাইরেক্ট এখন লিখতেছে, সে কোশ্চেনটার একটা রিপ্লাই দিছে, মানে যেটা অ্যানসার দিচ্ছিল সাইড, তার একটা রিপ্লাই দিছে, আমি রিপ্লাইটা নিয়ে আসি।
Playing free hit in 32.
See, যদি আপনি ফ্রি হিট 32 খেলেন, এখানে আসলে মাইনাস হিটটা এই গেম উইকে কভার করতে হবে, নাইলে আসলে ওভারঅল পজিটিভ কোনো লাভ নেই। নর্মালি আমরা মাইনাস হিট যখন নেই 2-3টা গেম উইক চিন্তা করি যে 2-3টা গেম উইক দিয়ে কভার হয়ে যাবে অ্যাটলিস্ট। তো এখানে আপনি যেহেতু 32 তে ফ্রি হিট খেলবেন, 32 তে ট্রেন্ড আপনি এমনিই পাচ্ছেন। তো এখানে আসলে I would not agree with Parvez bhai going for -8 or -4 for TA. So
Samin, we just brought in two different views. Now you decide. Yeah, brother. I
না
wanted to
এখানে
get you both the views
প্রসপেক্টটা
because
হলো দুই রকম আসলে আসলে এখানে
হ্যাঁ,
আমি
um,
একটু যদি একটু ভাঙে দেই, কারণ সাইড কিন্তু অনেক উপরের দিকের র্যাঙ্কে আছে, সো সে সেফলি খেলতে যাচ্ছে এবং আমি অনেক নিচের র্যাঙ্কে আছি, সো আমি ডেসপারেট আমার র্যাঙ্কটাকে ইমপ্রুভ করার জন্য। এটা এনি হাউ আমি 2 দিন পরে করার আগে আমি এখনই করে আগে যদি আগাইতে পারি, এটা হলো প্রসপেক্টিভটা। এটা ভিউয়ারদেরকে বুঝতে হবে যে দেখেন
না
আসলে
আমি
দুই
কিন্তু I'm not happy with my rank, so I'm not going to play safe anymore because there is no point languishing at 200k or something like that. I'm going for at least 100k. So that's not my safe approach. But thing is, I am cautious regarding Liverpool because we have been excited about Liverpool and we have been burned by Liverpool before in this season.
আসলে
We can't really
সবচেয়ে
trust Liverpool.
আমি বুঝতে পারছি যে এখানে আসলে লিভারপুলের একটা বায়াসনেস কাজ করতেছে, এটা হলো ব্যাকফায়ার করতেছে আর কি। আমি বুঝতে পারছি যে আমি লিভারপুলের ফ্যান দেখে হয়তো লিভারপুল বলতেছি এবং এটাতে ব্যাকফায়ার হইতে পারে।
না আসলে লিভারপুলের ফ্যান না হইলেও যদি আমরা just going by their form, I think Liverpool has been playing pretty dreadfully, and also আমাদের away form যেহেতু এটা away fixture, home fixture হলে আসলে আমি বলতাম যে ঠিক আছে ম্যান সিটি খেলে ফেলে। away form কিন্তু আমাদের খুবই খারাপ, আমরা ডিফেন্সিভলি away form is really bad. So that's another point to consider.
I think the only positive that I can share out of this whole discussion is, brother Samin Rahman, the change in formation from Liverpool is a key thing. Yeah, the concern that Saif said and the optimism that Parvez is showing is both very valid and very meritorious. And I think the merit that you need to take into consideration is the change in formation. And I think with the change in formation, Liverpool played their best football in the second half against Arsenal in this entire season. Yeah, and I think that once something clicks, you stick to that. Yeah, winning formation কেউ কখনো চেঞ্জ করতে চায় না। Yeah, that is something we know.
এইখানে আমি একটা কোশ্চেন করব, বেশ কয়েক গেম উইক আগে কিন্তু আমরা দেখতেছিলাম যে লিভারপুল উইল গো ফর 4-2-3-1 that because that clicked really well with Gakpo in the number 10 position. Liverpool played really well with that formation. Then that formation is gone now. So
yeah. Now here, very good point. Very good point, Asai. I looked into that as well. To be honest, I looked into that. Yeah. And for the audience, I just want to make this very clear. The only reason as to why that formation didn't click is the number of big chances that you guys ended up missing. Yeah. That formation allowed Gakpo. That formation allowed Darwin Núñez to be more advanced rather than Salah being more wide. Yeah. Now, the fact that Salah is a much more clinical and much more better finisher than Gakpo and Darwin Núñez, who happens to be a miss master, yeah, I think this formation allows Salah to be more advanced. So if you really compare 4-2-3-1, where Darwin Núñez is in advanced position, and if you allow this 3-5, where Salah is a bit more forward, it's rather, even for a person like me who's not really and totally and expert on football, would still be able to say, like, I would pick 3-5 rather than 4-2-3-1. Yeah, you get my point? And I think that's where the key is. Yeah, they want to utilize Salah. You cannot let Salah play so wide that he's not getting the chances, scoring chances. That is why Salah has been so less owned this season. Yeah, that is why Salah is not Salah like the way we used to consider him as the Egyptian king. Yeah, and I think that is where the merit lies. Yeah. And I think, sorry audience, we are taking too much time into this one, but do understand these are the things that affect. And suddenly you might say, like, "Are bhai, apnara bollen tarpore hoilo na ki hoilo holar." It's because these are the changes that comes in, which amra sadhanot FPL manager we don't take into consideration, and it is important that we take these factors into considerations. Yeah, I just wanted to bring that one. Sorry, I hope I'm clear, right? Or did I just overblow it too much? I don't know. Anyway, sorry. Okay, let's move to the next question. Sharaf Jari asks, who are the priority forwards keeping double game week 34 in mind? Ashfaq?
If you're playing free hit 32, you're thinking about forwards, the obvious choice would be, I think, Ings is one because he has a double game week. Other than that, if Rashford is back by that time, he could be an option too. But I don't see any other forward options.
Rashford is not a forward.
Right, Rashford is I forgot. Rashford is a midfield option. So I think the best forward option you can consider is probably Ings. Other than that, the forward options are, well, obviously I think you will already have Haaland at that point. I'm not sure Mitrovic will be back. I think not. Gakpo, you have already discussed. Gakpo is a midfield option as well. Nunez have already discussed is the rotation risk, and I think the onus is on the Brighton midfield rather than the attack. So if you're looking at the forward options, I think Ings and West Ham is your best bet.
Alvarez can be
Okay.
good option. Alvarez alongside Haaland.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Saif. Thanks for leaking our team sheet. Thanks. Okay.
You leaked your
Somebody
team
from
sheet
the,
anyway. You both said
okay.
you have Alvarez.
Yeah, but I didn't say I have a Haaland as well. Yeah, I didn't say that. Yeah, but you now just said it that we are pairing up on Manchester
You
City.
don't have Alvarez without Haaland. You have Alvarez alongside Haaland. So
All right.
that's the given.
Somebody from the community is asking Marhez or Mitoma. Saif.
I think it's regarding who to play, who to bench.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, I think I would start Mahrez over Mitoma because he was not involved in the UCL fixture. So I think he will play in the league fixture. And also Bernardo put in a really good shift. I think he will be in the bench. And Mahrez against his old club, so there's also that bit of what you say drama or football romance is there. So I think I would play Mahrez and bench Mitoma.
Thanks. I agree with that one. Asif Hassan is saying free hitting game week 32 means saving a transfer is pointless this week. Rashford or Henry, who to transfer out? Parvez?
হেনরি, কারণ আমি 32-এ যেহেতু ফ্রি হিট খেলতেছি, আমার 33-এ কিন্তু রাশফোর্ড আবার ব্যাক হয়ে আসতেই পারে। সো আমি রাশফোর্ডকে এই মুহূর্তে সেল করে টিম ভ্যালুকে কমাবো না, আমি হেনরিকে সেল করতে যাবো। রিকো হেনরি উচ্চের সাথে।
Okay. Right. Okay. Where did I lose the comment? Okay. And then Asif Hassan is asking again, already have Grealish in my team. Parvez. So still Henry it is?
Yeah, still Henry it is.
Okay. Right. This one we already got in. Okay. Then Abu Aisha Humaira is asking, Kepa, Steele, me, Henry, Chilwell, Trippier, Zinchenko. Okay. All right. Yeah. And then Bruno, Salah, March, Mitoma, Martinelli, Isaac, Watkins, Kane. Our best 11 টা কেমন হওয়া উচিত? আশফাক?
আমার মনে হয় আমি একটু বলি যে আমাদের মনে হয় এখন যে যারা কমেন্ট করতেছে তারা একদম সরাসরি লাইভ কথা হচ্ছে, কুইক রিপ্লাই হচ্ছে, তারাই হয়তো এখন লাইভে আছে।
So Humaira bhai, I think if I were you, I would probably bench the Brentford defenders because between Chilwell, Trippier, and Zinchenko, I think they have the higher point ceiling. Although I don't expect Chilwell to keep a clean sheet, but I still think he's very good attacking wise. He's on set pieces as well, so I think between them he has the higher point ceiling. So I would probably, although it might seem a bit risky, but I would probably bench the Brentford defenders, and I would probably go with benching one of March or Mitoma. Like Nadim Bhai said, between March and Mitoma, probably Mitoma is the better choice this week. So probably me, Henry, and March. And between the keepers, I think you can, pick your team. Go with your gut and pick your team because I don't think any of them. I don't expect to take a clean sheet. The Brighton and Chelsea game. But I think I would rather play Kepa because Kepa is a better keeper of the two, and I think he might get some safe points there.
Ashfaq, your cat needs attention. Your cat needs attention. I think you should just go and give him a hug. Yeah. I think he's asking desperately for some sort of attention. So maybe you should just pay attention over there for a minute or two. And in the meantime,
I'll bring him into the pod. I think he'll find it, and then he'll come down.
Okay. Samin Rahman is saying not looking to take -8 hit. Okay, either Madison to Bruno with a free transfer, or Madison to Grealish and Chilwell to TA for -4. I think TA has really high ceiling playing in an advanced role. Yeah, we agree with that. To be honest. And Parvez, I think, already commented on that. And I think -4 is fine. And I think TA with an advanced midfield role, I think he's going to do well. And that is why we kind of discussed it already in the pod. If you have not seen it, brother, We had really gone into a lot of details about this.
We went to details regarding his previous question.
Yeah, and we also discussed this, the advanced role and as to why, the team in focus was Liverpool basically. So we talked about it. So we kind of agree with you what you already shared. Yeah, thanks. Then Shadad Hussain Bhai is asking, Bhai, how about taking Malasia? I have Trippier, Botman, S2 Henry. Saif?
এটা আসলে খুবই শর্ট টার্ম পিক হয়ে যাবে, তখন আপনি ইউ উইল বি স্টাক উইথ মেলাসে বিকজ Ten Hag has confirmed that Shaw is not a long-term absentee, so he is likely to be back in the next match. So you are taking a 1 week punt, and then you will be thinking about how to transfer him out and how to get in Shaw. So I would not go there. So I would really, you can easily play the 4 defenders you have. So just don't go for Malaysia and wait for Shaw to come back and then take him in, because Malaysia won't be a long-term pick and long-term hold in your team. So that's just a transfer waiting down the line.
Right. Okay. And then the next question comes from Samin Raman again. I'm also a Liverpool fan. That's why I'm pretty much confident that Klopp will try his best to finish the season into the top 4. Top 4 is a bit too ambitious, but yeah, top 6 is still possible. So attacking football we played in the future, game mix and goals are coming too, in my opinion. I would not disagree with that, any one of your opinions, and I think just the top 4 is a bit far-fetched. Yeah, a bit far-fetched. I'm not sure. Maybe Saif shares the similar optimism, or Saif, top 4? Just asking.
No, I think there are too many good teams this season for us to be just going for a run and then getting the top 4. Even if we went for a run, I think we'll miss out on top 4, because without us, there are, I think, 3 teams who are fighting for the last 2 spots, like Spurs, United, and Newcastle. So I think any of the 2 will get in alongside Arsenal and City. Our best hope is top 6 and the Europa.
Okay. And there it is. Shian Naim is saying Sabitzer 21 এর মধ্যে ব্রেস করে মেরে দিছে, পেলে এখন ওকে নেওয়ার ধুম পড়বে. I wouldn't. There's one thing I would like to say, but I wouldn't encourage people to go with Sabitzer. Yeah. Ten Hag did say it's good to have a midfielder who would have lots of shots in the box and can score goals, which is good. But that doesn't mean Sabitzer becomes a very good option. Yeah. I would still wait. Nah, this is a bit too much, I think. Yeah. Ashfaq, what do you think?
অ্যাসিস্ট গুলা কিন্তু খুব ভালো পারফর্ম করছে। ব্রুনো ফার্নান্ডেজ একটা অ্যাসিস্ট করছে।
So in the Sevilla game, Sabitzer is basically playing in the number 10 role, while Bruno is playing a bit deep, which is why probably Sabitzer is probably barging a bit forward. But the thing can always change, right? Because we have Eriksen coming back, and with Eriksen coming back, there might be changes in the bit more changes in the formation as well. Sabitzer is not a attacking midfielder per se; he's rather a box-to-box midfielder. So he can play, deeper. He can play on the offense. But it's good to have options. But like Nadim Bhai rightly said, I think he's a risk. He's a high risk, because we don't have a guarantee of him starting every match. And Bruno, with him being on set pieces, all must have the highest ceiling between them. So if you're indeed bent on investing in a United asset, still Bruno is your best shot.
I think what's more interesting here is the position of Bruno.
Bruno is playing deeper.
He is still playing deeper, and the thing is, I have seen in Twitter that most United fans are saying that this is the best he has been playing this season, and him playing deeper alongside a destroyer like Casemiro, I think gives them much more control in midfield, because he is the pass master and he can send in those through passes from deep. So I think Bruno will still continue playing deeper. So I think that's
but Eriksen can excel in that position as well, right? But Eriksen is a deep can play as a deep playing playmaker as well, which
Eriksen is also a natural number 10, so he might come in and just play number 10.
He's a
that
number
I
10
think
for
is
Denmark. He's not a number 10 for United anymore. So in Denmark, yes. United, no.
he can easily
United,
be a number 10 because he has been a
he
number
plays
10 all his
deeper.
life.
He
And
plays deeper. He does not have the pace.
Okay, I think stability matters. I think the key question is the midfield stability matters here, yeah.
yeah,
And I think the midfield stability is there when Bruno Fernandes is, along with Casemiro is there. I think Manchester United has the best midfield then. It's
yeah,
it's a very strong
that's what I'm
combination.
trying
And
to
then I think one of the things that will happen is when Manchester United really needs to go on the offense, I think Fred will come inside. And when Manchester United really needs to defend, I think this is where people like Sabitzer and others will come into the midfield here and play a more class 10 role. But again, Eric Ten Hag is mixing up a lot of things. What's more
Bruno
important
playing
is the control.
Bruno playing well in real life, I think harms his prospects as a fantasy player option.
Yeah, yeah, really. Okay. And with that, I think Ashfaq just left. He was so disappointed with that. Okay, no, just kidding. Shian Naim is saying Rashford to Grealish না করে ওলিসে করলে গেম উইক 32 তে 11 জনকে খেলাতে পারবো, then I can play free hit in 34. How about that? Saif, what do you think?
I think it's a really interesting move. Olise is someone I like, and we were really really surprised by how Roy Hodgson has taken to the Palace job. We all expected Palace to be a bit more defensively sturdy and boring, but it went the other way. I think Hodgson is having a late life party with Palace because they have been playing really well attackingly. They battered Leicester, and then they battered Leeds, and they scored 5 goals against them. Their attacking numbers are really up in the 2 matches they played under. So Olise and Ize both are very good pick. Also, their fixture is, I think, the best in the league. Their fixture is really good, and so Olise is someone you can hold on till the end of the season. So I think it's an interesting option, but I would just for the sake of playing 11, I would not see that. But I would not play the free hit in 34. But I would just with your team, I would just mock up 2 draft for the free hit 32 and free hit 34, and then see which one suits you better. So and then go for the transfer if you have because in 32 I think Arsenal is playing Southampton, and not many teams will have 3 Arsenal attacks or 3 Arsenal players even. And then Liverpool is playing, I think, Nottingham Forest, and not many teams will have 3 Liverpool players. So it's not really about all about the blanks, but also about targeting the best attacking fixtures. So even if we have 11 players, I think free hit might also be an option. And also the picks in 34 for the players who will double, that's the Brighton players and City players. These are the players I think we all will have in our team anyway. So the upside is, I think, a bit lesser in that in context. So I would just mock up 2 drafts and see which one suits, which one looks better, and then go for the transfer accordingly.
Shian Naim, coming back to this question and to answer what Saif said, next week we are going to bring Sankalp into the show, who's going to actually do a comparison between Game Week 34 and Game Week 32 free hit. Yeah. And we are going to really get into the discussion about whether 32 free hit is better or 34 free hit is better. And Sankalp is going to discuss that. So we are really going to get into that. So if you haven't yet decided, I would suggest don't finalize everything right now. I think there are quite a number of merits to both the options. Let's explore that option when we are close to Game Week 32, not now. Yeah. Now, right now, I would suggest that you focus on 31 and then keep that option open, whether 32 is the best option for you or whether 34 is the best option. Yeah. And we'll discuss that next week ahead of the Game Week 32 blank. And Sankalp is going to do that. So just keep that in mind. Okay. And then this is the last comment. Sharab Jia says Sabitzer almost scored a 32 minutes hat trick. Should we bring him in? We already discussed this, brother. Not really an option that we should consider. Yeah, not really an option you should consider. At least in FPL terms, to be honest, I would say there's a bit of too much of topsy-turvy and too much of risk that you're taking without actually much merit in it. মানে লাগা গেলে ভালো আর কি, but লাগবে কতটুক, that's the thing. You should take calculated risk rather than just a risk like নেওয়ার জন্য নিলাম আর কি. You should make those calculated risk, and I don't think so this is a calculated risk. This is more of a just throwing yourself in the dark and then hoping that it will stick. It might not. Yeah, most likely it is not going to stick. Yeah, Saraf. Okay,
I don't think
I think that
I don't think it was a serious question anyway.
no, I know. It is not a serious question, but I think there are quite a number of other people who are also suggesting about Sabitzer, and I think certainly Sabitzer becomes an option because Manchester United has this wonderful fixture and all this stuff. So, but yeah. Anyway, it's been good. We'll be back next week to discuss Game Week 32 and 33 together, and it will be next Wednesday, I think, right, Parvis? It will be on Wednesday. Yeah, it will be on the 19th. It will be on the 19th, and we have kept the Shataishe Ramzan and the Eid into consideration, and we have combined 32 and 33 together, and we are bringing in, of course, Sankalp, our dear good friend from India, who will be joining us. So don't forget, and we will be discussing, of course, all the free hits of Blank Gaming 32 and all the options that you should consider. But until then, enjoy your Ramadan. It's been a pleasure having you, Saif. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you, Ashfaq, for joining. He's not here, of course. And of course, Parvez, as always, we are grateful to you for all your support and all the work that you do behind the scene. Thank you so much, and take care. Bye-bye.
Thanks a lot, everyone. Bye-bye.